Come on, fuck. Let's go. All right, Take the Wrestling Podcast here, coming to you on April fucking Fool's Day with Mike Bernier, Joe Lopez. Fellas, what's up?
Hello out there in the land of Take 3 world.
I just want to say, first of all, welcome to our guest, Ernest. You're rude as shit.
I was gonna get there, you fuck.
No, you start there. You start
I
at
was
the
going
guest.
to get
Like,
there in a
here's Mike
second.
and Joe and our special guest. Like,
I was literally gonna segue right now, say who was our mystery guesser today.
went to like the Ryan Seacrest School of Broadcasting, didn't you, bud?
I hate Ryan Seacrest. And by the way, my sister was on the first season of American Idol. Hate that show. For the record. Who's our mystery guest today?
Go ahead and introduce yourself, Jim.
Oh, introduce myself. All right. I didn't know if somebody else was going to say something. This is Jim. I am one half of the Two Spot Monkeys podcast. My other fellow Spot Monkey, Tom, was unable to join us this evening, but happy to be here with you guys. I've known Joe and Mike for a number of years. Long time now.
We don't meet for now 3 minutes and 22 seconds. All right.
I was going to say, Ernest and I have been best friends now for at least 4 minutes. So
hey, you guys are fucked. Done. By the way, I was going to ask earlier, like, you know, your backdrop there is like pretty bright. Where the hell are you in Hawaii?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Two Spot Monkeys. We live it up, man. No, I threw a fake backdrop up because my other backdrop here in the house is just a blue wall that looks strange. Like I kind of look like I'm just floating on it. So
by the way, I like the name of your podcast.
Well, thanks. Yeah, we did Two Spot Monkeys. Oh gosh, probably 6 or 7 years ago for about a year, and then had to take a break. Life got in the way, and then when this ridiculous pandemic came around a year ago, we needed a little bit of an outlet to just do something fun. So we brought it back almost a year ago now.
Isn't podcasting fun?
It is, but trying now that, you know, I'm back working in the office at my real job. I also have a side hustle. So trying to find the time is a little bit ridiculous, which is why Tom and I are recording at an ungodly hour tomorrow morning. So
Well, like I said, today's gonna be a special show. Lots of shit going on with all of us here because we have planned a podcast next week, and then we had to change that up recently because unfortunately Mike lost his grandfather today. So he has to head up to Virginia in a couple days and take care of that. Joe will be in transit next Thursday down here for Wrestlemania. So the idea of doing a preview show while he's on the train might be risky.
It's not the greatest. The service on the trains, low key, high key sucks. So it's
low key, high key.
I got to trust that. Yeah, no.
So we figured, you know what? Fuck it. You know what? Let's jam all the shit into the one episode right now. Preview Mania, a topic that Joe's gonna bring up later on. And the reason we're here today, and the reason why Jim's here today especially, is Wrestlemania Jeopardy, hosted by not Alistair Beck, but Mr. Mike Bernier, the Squid. So let's do
Mike,
that.
I'm back. See how this goes. I don't know if I mentioned to you guys. You might know, but my side hustle is that I'm a trivia host.
Really? I lost. I'm good. Goodbye.
And I'm actually in the process of writing a wrestling trivia game for some of our mutual friends that we're going to do next Saturday. So we'll see how this goes.
I'm ready for the challenge. Ernest is never good at these. I'm sometimes good. I'm also, just for the record, though, like totally, just totally being clear and honest right now. I'm so high right now, I forgot Matt Riddle's lines. I don't know how well this is actually going to go, but we'll see.
Well, it's not fair, though, too, because, Jim, obviously, you only know each other now 6 minutes and 21 seconds.
Jesus, here we go with the TV title, fucking time limit.
No, real quick, though. I have been a wrestling fan since 1987, but I was off the grid for 17 years in 2002 till 2019. So there's a lot of shit I'm still catching up on that I missed. Like, I obviously know, like, all the main figures, John Cena and all that, you name it. But it's just a lot of shit I got to catch up to. These guys never stopped. So I get fucked on that end.
Yeah, get wrecked.
Yeah, see? So,
all right.
I can take it away.
Let's go.
It's my time to shine, boys and girls. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Wrestlemania Jeopardy. It is the first episode of Wrestlemania Jeopardy. We've ran Elimination Chamber Jeopardy that went about as good as a car crash.
Shit. That was complete
Ernest,
shit.
We had to give Ernest 3 stimulus checks to get him out of the negative. Royal Rumble Jeopardy was actually pretty close. It wasn't that terrible. So we'll figure it out. We'll hop right into the categories. I'll give you guys the categories. We'll play this the way of Jeopardy. 100 to 500 on the point scale, and we have Final Jeopardy at the end. The categories are, as announced last week on the show, Video Killed the Mania Star, Need More Gimmick Matches, Title Delights, The Women's Evolution, and Wrestlemania Statistics. Because Jim is the guest, we will give Jim control of the board.
Completely.
All right, and how do we buzz in, or do we just yell out the answer? How do
Say your name.
Say your name, and then I will call on who I hear first.
Jim Joe.
Your name.
Nah, this is unfair because I'm the only one in this panel who has 2 syllables.
And it's not
Fuck
even.
You're gonna blame your parents, man. We didn't do that to you.
I know. Fucking parents.
I love it.
Let's go. Titles. Title Delight. Was that what you said?
Yep, Title Delights.
We'll start at 100. We'll just start off.
Interesting topic.
All right. This category, the $100 question. Over the course of 9 WrestleMania events from 2003 to 2011, the Intercontinental title was defended exactly 1 time. How long was that match?
Joe. 15 minutes and 11 seconds.
That is incorrect.
But I was close, right? Like,
You couldn't have been further away if you tried. Jim.
How close do I have to get this? Dead on?
If you get within 3 to 5 seconds, I'll give it to you.
Okay, so I'm going to get it wrong then. 7 minutes and 42 seconds.
That is also incorrect.
I'm not answering shit because I'm going to be in the lead.
The correct answer is 21 seconds.
really?
What was the match?
Who the fuck was the match?
I believe it was one of those Kane versus somebody random from like Right to Censor or something.
Ah, that makes sense.
I didn't really get to look that match up.
I mean, it sounds like you missed the classic there.
It'll take longer to find the match than to actually watch the
I
match.
think it was.
I'm a little worried if the $100 question is an exact time of a match.
Exactly.
Well,
What the hell is the $500 question going to be?
I
Mike?
agree.
I told Joe that some of them, like, that's an interesting stat. So only letting you guys be negative 100 on that to tell that story makes it a little bit easier than kicking you guys in the throat.
He's curveballing us. The $100 questions are hard and the $500 questions are super easy. It's like how I only wear shirts on my OnlyFans and post shirtless pics everywhere else. You just got to curveball people sometimes.
You and your fucking shirtless.
If the Vince
Pictures.
Russo swerve.
Yeah. Jim, the board is still yours.
The board is still mine. Well, I'm terrified to do it, but let's do 200 in the title delay.
Okay. Over the course of WrestleMania, the Intercontinental title has been retained this many times with the champion not winning the match.
What?
So, like, okay.
Disqualification, no contest, count out, etc.
Oh. Joe,
Yes, Joseph.
what's 0?
That is incorrect.
It's definitely not 0.
I can't think of a single one.
What is it?
The correct answer was 5.
Okay. I know Savage retained at Mania 2. That I know.
I feel like we're just
yeah.
learning that they really fuck over the Intercontinental title a lot on WrestleMania.
Right.
I may or may not be doing that. I can't confirm.
Switched
or deny
at
anything.
3, switched at 5. That's it.
There was a lot of middle ground that was awful.
Well, and I think in that time frame you gave, wasn't it gone for part of that time frame as well?
I
For
believe so.
the first question?
Yeah.
Yes, I
I
believe
think
so.
that might have been was disappeared for a while.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
All right, let's just continue to bury Joe and I at 300 with these.
The youngest champion to win a title at WrestleMania.
Oh, Joe!
Yes, Joe.
Who is Nick?
Correct.
Yes!
I would have gotten it wrong, so I'm glad you got that right. Joe.
I was sitting here like Randy Orton. Wait, no.
Right. I was between Orton and Lesnar. Totally forgot about that awful booking decision.
Yeah.
Let's go, Braun Strowman. Terrible
I
Braun
was gonna say
Strowman
The Rock.
gimmicks.
Hey, wait,
I
The
love
Rock
it.
never won in a Mania.
Correct. Joseph?
Let's continue with the category. What we have? 400?
Yep. John Cena has won this many world titles at WrestleMania shows.
Oh, fuck me.
I don't think that's an appropriate answer, sir.
I'll be in Florida next week.
Shut-
Let's see.
Oh, God.
Joe,
Yes, Joseph.
what is 5?
That is incorrect.
Jim,
Yes, Jim.
what is 3?
That is also incorrect.
This is your strategy. Sit
Ernest.
quietly, isn't it, Ernest? You're going to win with 0. That's the strategy. I got it. All right.
All right.
Get the one easy one.
The correct answer was 4.
No, we got it wrong anyway. I said we got it wrong anyway.
Joe, the board is still yours.
Clear it off, Joe. Clear it off.
Give me the women's evolution for 100.
All right, women's evolution for 100.
Ernest, your reaction to that was sexist.
The first ever women's main event was won by
Jim.
EJ.
Jim.
Becky Lynch.
That is correct. Jim, the board is yours.
All right. This isn't sexist, Joe, but we're going back to titles for 500.
All right. This tag team lost all Raw, SmackDown, and NXT title matches the week of WrestleMania 35.
EJ.
Yes, Ernest.
Is it Sasha? Who is Sasha Banks and Bailey?
That is incorrect.
Oh, no, wait. You said SmackDown. No, fuck. Never mind.
And he's in the negative, boys and girls.
There you go.
What, the weekend of which WrestleMania again? Can I ask for that again?
35.
This tag team lost Raw, SmackDown, and NXT tag title matches the week of WrestleMania 35.
2 years ago. I don't even think the people who write for WWE remember the tag teams from 2 years ago, just for the record.
All right, so we'll time this one out because I don't think that we're gonna get there.
I don't want
the
negative point.
The tag team was Aleister Black and Ricochet.
Yeah.
They lost.
I mean, now that you say it, I know it, but yeah.
Yeah. It's always in hindsight, right?
Right.
They lost to the Revival. They lost to the War Raiders, and then they lost to whomever the SmackDown Tag Team Champions were.
I
don't
think
even
we
remember.
get half points every time we agree with the answer when you read it. It's like, yes, I thought it was that.
You know what? That makes perfect sense.
Yes.
I should definitely put the link to this out to my trivia players because they'll love the fact that I'm now the one who looks like, the guy who knows.
Love it.
I love it.
Jim, the board is still yours.
Oh, all right. Gimmick matches for 100.
All right, gimmick matches for 100. Butterbean sent this man into about row 5 in the finals of the Brawl for All. Jim.
Bart Gunn.
That is correct.
Fuck, I was going to get that too. Damn it. Mania 15.
Mania
15. I watched that one live, actually.
We'll go 200 in gimmick matches.
WrestleMania 13 had a killer submission match featuring these two men.
Jim.
Yes, Jim.
Steve Austin, Bret Hart.
That is correct.
Nice.
Jim, the board is still yours.
Well, I'm liking gimmick matches, so let's take it.
WrestleMania stepped into a cinematic masterpiece world last year with a match featuring AJ and The Undertaker.
Joe. Oh, wait.
Yes.
What was the rest of the question?
Yes, Joe.
What is the graveyard match?
That is incorrect.
EJ.
Yes, Ernest.
The Boneyard match.
That is correct.
All right, but it's not my fault they gave it a stupid name.
Yeah.
I didn't even catch what the question was.
I thought it was true or false, the way it sounded.
Right, I'm like, yes, they did. What's the
Yes.
question?
Factual. Yes, they did.
matches
Factual.
for 400, I guess, right?
All right. These two took each other on in the only official Playboy pillow fight match.
We just watched this recently. I'm really angry. I don't remember it.
That was not that match. Sir.
Oh,
that
oh.
was the Middle Light Catfight Girls. That was not
Jim.
involving. Yes, Jim.
Ashley Massaro and I'm between two. Maria.
That is incorrect.
I got nothing. Don't
Hold
remember
on.
great women's names.
I know what
The correct answer was Tori Wilson and Candice Michelle.
I knew the first one. I could learn the second one.
I was between Candace and Maria, so I guess I was almost in the.
At Tori.
Yeah.
That sounds like a lot of people's fantasies right there. Not mine.
Not yours. Hands off, Joe. It's mine.
Trust me, you're all good.
All right, Jim, the board is still yours.
500. Gimmicks.
All right. The Big Show stepped into the world of sumo versus this legend at WrestleMania.
Joe.
Jim.
Akibono.
Yep.
That is
Oh,
correct.
that's good.
In a
All
match
right.
you can't unsee once you've seen it.
Yeah.
No, nope. You can't. I'm kind of glad our streak started after that because I'm pretty sure I would have thrown up during that.
Yeah. Even I'm good on that.
It was bad. It's bad.
It was terrible.
Let's go back to the Women's Revolution for 200.
All right, Women's Evolution. The first women's match was won by this lady at WrestleMania 1.
EJ,
Yes, Ernest.
who is Wendy Richter.
That is correct.
Women's Revolution for 300.
These two women were involved in a mixed tag match at WrestleMania 14.
EJ,
Yes, Ernest.
who is Sable and Sable and Luna Vachon.
That is correct.
Nice.
Don't call it a
Women's
comeback,
Revolution.
guys. Ernest is here.
Women's Revolution for 400.
Ivory lost her women's championship to this wrestler at WrestleMania X7. Joseph.
EJ,
Joe already
China.
said it.
With China.
Joe ripped it off before I could even finish the question.
Literally the worst match in WrestleMania history. And Snooki had
that
a match
covers some
in
stuff.
WrestleMania.
is it
I don't
China?
know about that.
It was China.
Okay.
Joe was correct. Joe, you have control of the board.
Let's take women for whatever the next one is.
It was a hair versus title match at WrestleMania 20. This woman walked out with the belt and her hair.
EJ,
Yeah.
Ernest.
who is Trish Stratus?
That is incorrect.
Oh,
Jim, I know you buzzed in. Did you want to take a shot, or are you still thinking?
I was
won't-
going
I
to guess Trish Stratus, so no, I'm going to go ahead and leave that alone.
take my fucking idea.
I don't even remember the fact that there was a women's match on WrestleMania 20.
All right. The correct answer was, who is Victoria? She defeated Molly Holly.
I remember that Molly Holly was the one who got shaved.
I remember that now. Yeah.
Yep. Victoria was the one that beat her. All right. So we have three categories completely blocked out. We have Video Killed the Mania Star and WrestleMania Statistics as our last two categories. Who had control of the board there? I believe it was Jim. No, it was Joe. It was Joe because Joe had China correct.
Okay.
Joseph.
Well, as good as we all are at wrestling statistics, let's go with Video Killed the Mania Star for
All right.
100.
This hip hop star has a match set at WrestleMania 37 versus a former
Yeah.
reality
EJ.
TV.
Oh.
It was Joe.
Who is Bad Bunny? I've been
That
asking
is-
myself that question for weeks now.
Joe's favorite.
That is correct.
Let's go 200, same category.
This all-time great musical artist sang Sasha Banks to the ring at WrestleMania
EJ.
32.
EJ.
Ernest.
Snoop Dogg.
That is correct.
Same category, 300.
All right, that is our first of our 2 daily doubles. You're currently at 0, so feel free to gamble with as much as you want.
I'll bet 500.
All right, Ernest for 500. Jake the Snake Roberts brought this rock star as backup to the ring at WrestleMania 3.
It was Alice Cooper.
That is correct.
That was a good one for me to get.
He also lost that match, too.
I mean, that's a perfect one for that guy to get.
Right.
I mean,
He also
literally,
lost that match.
it couldn't have been an easier question for him.
Yeah. Let's go same category, 400.
All right. Rock and wrestling mashup back at WrestleMania 1 when Wendy Richter had this rock star as her valet. Jim.
Cyndi Lauper.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Let's see. Jim is now at 400.
And you notice, Jim, anything Hulkamania era, I'm pretty good at.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's the rest of it that he's kind of trash at. including current day stuff. We won't go.
Yeah, I'm still working on the current shit.
Jim, the board is yours.
Ask him whatever you want about Royal Rumble 2020. Got you.
Sold.
Like statistics, like everything.
For real, Z.
Let's go 500 for the star.
All right.
Yeah, Mania star.
This band performed multiple times at WrestleMania 18.
EJ.
Ernest.
Who is Motorhead?
That is incorrect.
At 18?
18, right?
WrestleMania 18.
Oh, I know who it is. I can't fucking... Wait, doesn't.
Joe.
Joseph.
Who is Limp Bizkit?
That is also incorrect.
Can I say it before you? No one gets it.
You go ahead and say it because I was going to guess Limp Bizkit if I'm.
Is it saliva? Is it saliva?
It is saliva.
Fuck me, dude.
It is saliva.
I wish it had been Limp Bizkit.
You're at 19, actually.
I believe it's still Jim's board after his correct answer of Cyndi Lauper. The final category is WrestleMania Statistics.
Good God, this could get horrible. 100.
All right. This man had 4 title matches in back-to-back WrestleManias.
EJ.
Ernest.
Who is Macho Man Randy Savage?
That is incorrect.
Back-to-back title matches. Wait, is back-to-back?
This man had 4 title matches in back-to-back WrestleManias.
4 total over the 2?
4 total over the 2.
Oh, I know the answer. Maybe.
I know who it's not. I just did the obvious math.
Can I say it if anyone gets it?
No, I'm going to answer this. I'm the Alex Trebek of this show, goddammit.
Fuck.
All right, the correct answer was who was Yokozuna.
Oh,
he
never
had
mind.
2 matches at WrestleMania 9 where he won the title and then lost the title.
That's
and then he had to
right.
face Lex Luger and Bret Hart
correct.
At WrestleMania 10.
You think about Hogan.
That's a good question.
Yeah, that's a great question. Good job.
I was sitting here literally counting out the Hogan title matches. It's like, okay, 2, 3, not at 4. 5, 6, not at 5, 6, 7, not at 8. Like,
yeah. Jim, the board is yours.
200.
That is the second daily double. You are currently at 400.
So excited about this.
and what are the other 2?
Nintendo Switch.
Joe is at -7. Ernest is at -1.
Not bad.
This is a lot better than the Elimination Chamber one.
What the hell? Go big or go home. Let's see if I can double it at 400.
All right, he's wagering all 400 here. This specific WrestleMania had 0 singles matches on the card.
That's a thing?
WrestleMania 2000.
That is correct.
Wow.
That's a good question.
And terrible booking.
Yeah, for real.
Awful booking. Awful booking.
One of, if not the worst WrestleMania. One of.
It would be on that list for sure.
That's definitely on that short list.
Yeah.
300.
All right. Although he is a show-off, He has never been able to show off alone in a singles match at
Oh.
WrestleMania. Joe.
Who is Dolph Ziggler?
That is correct.
I'm here to show the world.
But
And he still doesn't get on Mania because now he's going to be on the SmackDown defending his title the night before.
Oh, that's so
stupid.
Damn.
Yeah, Andre the Giant. Did you guys see that? The Andre
Yeah,
the Giant
I
Battle
did.
Royal with the SmackDown tag title. Those guys.
So we
can't
don't
get on Mania.
we don't even get and I think there's a women's 4-way too to see who faces Shayna and
That's
Nia.
supposed to be on night 1, and then night 2 they'll get the tag title shot. Is what I've read, but we'll see.
Yay!
So basically, Dolph Ziggler's like the Tomohiro Ishii of the WWE. There's 2 nights of Wrestle Kingdom, but we still can't get him on past the pre-show.
I mean, we don't have Shinsuke either.
No, this is so bad.
Shinsuke's in that battle royal.
Yep.
So.
Jey
So is Jey Uso also.
Yeah, Jey Uso's worked hard all year and he gets on the battle royal.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, he'll show up in the main event. But
Great.
anyways, we're not previewing Mania. Sorry, Mike.
No, you're fine. The $400 question, because I believe that's probably where we're going
Yeah,
next.
400,
In the first 15 WrestleManias, 33 total matches ended in a DQ, no contest, count out, or draw. Since then, this many matches have finished that way.
Joe,
Yes, Joe.
what's 137?
I don't
How
think you
the
understood the
fuck
question.
to know that shit?
No,
It's
I don't think
it's.
it's WWE booking. That was a good guess.
Well,
You think that many matches have finished that way? We've been to the last 10 of them, and there hasn't been one that's finished that way. The fuck do you mean?
How many of them have I been awake during? Come on.
7. And I
This
woke you up
fucking
during the Seth
idiot.
Rollins cash-in. What do you mean? I can't even give you credit for that one.
Was he awake for the Seth Rollins cash in?
Yes,
think
I
I may have-
was. I was very
I think
excited for
I
that.
think I may have punched him for that one. I think that's what woke him up.
I was also flirting with the guy 2 seats over, so like
He
I
was.
had shit
That I-
going on
that I-
that night.
That I can confirm. I asked him halfway through the show, do you want to switch seats and you sit next to him and I'll take the aisle so that you can flirt? And he's like, no, I'm good. And I'm like, no, the fuck you're not. You're flirting over top of me. I'm going to need you to chill the fuck out.
This guy. They call him Joe Lopez for a reason.
The correct answer, because I don't think anyone's going to guess it now that Joe guessed 1,337,000. Unless
Yep.
Ernest is going to guess.
No. Fuck no. Hell
The
no.
correct answer is actually 1.
I was closer than anybody else.
Wow.
137.
Go WWE.
I'm saying, in a world where you give us shitty booking and shitty finishes, they somehow find a way to get to a finish, whether we agree to it or not. Doesn't matter.
Right.
They get there. And the last question before Final Jeopardy. This man is the only true ECW superstar, not WWE ECW bullshit. The only true ECW superstar to main event a WrestleMania. Jim,
Bam Bam Bigelow.
that is correct. He
It's
was the main event
LT.
against Lawrence Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
Go
Nice.
Giants.
All right. As we head into Final Jeopardy, Jim is currently in the lead with 1,300. Ernest, you are at second place with -100. And Joe is currently at -800 as we go to the Final Jeopardy question. At this point, to basically save the integrity of the game, I'm going to read you guys the question. I'm
This
going
is
to give you guys a
bad.
few seconds to think about it. I'm then going to ask you guys what you wager before we answer the question, so no one can go, oh, I had the same answer, and the wager.
Yeah.
All right, Final Jeopardy question. They call this man Mr. WrestleMania. Shawn Michaels has competed at 17 different WrestleManias. He has a losing record. Can you tell me what Shawn Michaels' record is? And the clock begins now. Boom, boom. All right, we're back. Again, the Final Jeopardy question. Shawn Michaels is known as Mr. WrestleMania. He's had WrestleMania matches at 17 different WrestleManias. He has a losing record. Can you give me what his record is? Ernest, we'll start with you because you look the most confused. How much are you wagering on this question?
$100.
All right.
No, right here's 1,000. Fuck it.
All right.
I'm gonna say.
Hold on. I gotta get everybody's wager first, so you don't
Okay.
screw the credibility of the game. Joe, what is your wager for Final Jeopardy?
I was at a good old negative 700.
You're at negative 800.
Let's triple it.
All right, so you're gonna go for the 2400 effect here. All right. And Jim, your wager on Shawn Michaels' win-loss record.
I'm gonna play it safe, 300.
All right, Jim is gonna wager 300 here. All right, Joe, you are technically in last place. I need a answer from you. I'll write your answer down. I won't tell you if you're correct or not, and then I'll reveal it at the end.
17 Manias, losing record 7-10.
Joe has 7-10. Ernest.
7-10 also.
Ernest
Copycat.
also at 7-10. Jim.
6-11.
All right.
Just to be different.
I can confirm that we have a correct answer.
Ooh.
I'm correct.
Never.
The correct answer actually goes to our special guest, Jim. Shawn Michaels' WrestleMania record is 6-11.
What 6 matches did he win? Just out of
He won.
random.
He won against. He won. I know he won at 7 at the Rockers. He won at 8. He won at 9. He won at
the Jericho match at
Jericho Flair
Safeco.
match.
Flair, yeah.
Jericho Flair. And who won the Kurt Angle? He beat
Kurt
Angle.
12.
He beat Mike. Yeah, he beat Brett, and then he beat
Angle.
Nope.
Oh,
I think he beat Angle.
Did he beat Angle 23, 22, whatever it was?
I don't remember who won that match.
I think so, because I think I listened to Kurt's. All right. So, with that being said, the final scores.
It's not fair though. He's a trivia guy. He knows his shit.
In last place with negative 3,200 is Joe Lopez.
Yes.
In second place with negative 1,100 is Ernest. And our big winner is our guest, Jim, with a total of 1,600, has won WrestleMania Jeopardy for Take the Wrestling Podcast.
Well,
Like others that comes here just fucking comes here and dominates and leaves.
Yeah, you'll have to come back and give us a chance to like defend our land at some point.
Yeah,
absolutely. Would love to come back anytime.
Arrive, wreck shit up, and leave.
That's right. It's
So Jim's actually going to take off because he's got to record his stuff. But before you go, feel free to plug some stuff and let us know where we can listen to Two Spot Monkeys.
Yeah, absolutely. Two Spot Monkeys. It is on YouTube usually, and then it's also on most major podcast platforms. I know it's not on Podbean right now because we haven't figured that one out. We use Anchor to distribute it, so it's on Google, it's on Apple, it's on Spotify, it's on a bunch of other things that I've never heard of. But Two Spot Monkeys usually goes out Fridays-ish. I know we're recording 2 episodes this week, so I know the next 2 Fridays we'll have an episode. Then I know there's going to be at least a week break in there because, as I mentioned, my partner Tom is headed off to Disney, so he's going to have a whole lot of wrestling to watch when he gets back before we can record. Or I'll just be spoiling things left and right for him, which would be mean. So,
what you should do is give fake spoilers. Like, just send it and be like, oh my God, you're not going to believe who AJ Styles just beat for the world title. Like,
right.
What?
Just said, can you believe this 5-star classic with Jushin Thunder Liger and like Braun Strowman? Just give me some like the most like.
I say what I should do is write down the 3 or 4 matches that are actually worth watching throughout next week.
Right.
Although maybe more than that when you take Takeover into Takeover probably will be really good. But
of course,
my guess is I'll tell him watch Takeover and then watch Seth Rollins and Cesaro.
Yeah, sounds accurate.
I think it's a good match actually. Looking forward to that one.
What's that?
Looking forward to that match actually a lot.
Yeah, it should be really good. So, but check us out, Two Spot Monkeys. We are on Twitter and Facebook as well. So come give us a listen. We'd love to have folks check us out. And thanks for having me on the Take 3.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. It's great having you, brother.
All right, guys. Take care.
It's easy.
Thanks, Jim.
All right. That was fun.
That was fun.
And by the way, I'm proud of myself. I wasn't last place for once.
I feel like I knew a lot less than I thought I knew about WrestleMania.
And what's funny is that my original answer was going to be 6'11". I was like, oh shit, maybe one more. Fuck. I would have won probably had I got that answer right.
No, you would have finished at 900. He still would have gotten to 16.
Okay.
Because he had the same answer.
Bet smart.
Right. Yeah, he definitely bet for the win. He definitely came to win, found a way to get the W, and was able to get out before he got himself in too much trouble.
Arrive, wreck shit, and leave.
We've known them through Ring of Honor as like fans for 5 ever at this point. Really good guys. Really do go check out their podcast. It's really fun. And if anyone who normally listens to them is over here listening to us for the first time, you're welcome. Thank you guys for joining us, and hopefully,
welcome aboard.
Welcome aboard.
The fact that the smartest person in the room is no longer in the room won't scare you away from the rest of the show. What are we talking about next? You guys want to do my topic or?
Yeah, I feel like we should do yours.
I think yours is the safest one because we're gonna go long on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So here's the topic that I'm bringing this week to you guys. Okay. So in the last week or so, WWE has announced obviously a whole bunch of upcoming 2021 Class of Hall of Fame members. And we've gotten to see names like Rob Van Dam, Kane, Molly Holly, basically a whole bunch of people who, if you're noticing a trend here, were really big in the early 2000s. Like 2003, 2004, kind of had their run until even about almost 2010-ish, a little bit before that. I mean, technically, I think RVD is still kind of wrestling. He was in Impact 5 minutes ago, sexually harassing somebody. Anyway.
I think that's his girlfriend or his wife.
The gimmick was really awkward, all I'm saying. But anyway, so the fact that now they're here, they're giving us these guys from the early 2000s, it starts to make you kind of wonder, are they going to run out of people to put into the Hall of Fame? Because over the next few years, the fact is, in the early 2000s, they only made so many new stars. There were a lot more guys who were almost stars, guys like your Carlitos, your Mr. Kennedys, kind of your MVP until his most recent run. A lot of guys who they wanted to go next level who never did. So I don't know that those guys are Hall of Fame potential people, but obviously we've moved into this era of the Hall of Fame. You've got the NWO going in for class of 2020. You've got, basically at this point, we're doing attitude era / ruthless aggression era and all of that. At a certain point, you got to feel especially if they continue to do 5-6 people per class, they're going to run out of people. I mean, at what point are we putting Seth Rollins in 2 years? That doesn't work unless, God forbid, he retires or gets injured or something. But otherwise, how many people are we going to put in the Hall of Fame and then they're still going to be active wrestlers? We put Edge in because we thought he was never going to wrestle again. Here he is again. Kurt Angle was still wrestling. At what point does that become too much? And then also, too, at the same time, what about all of these guys like Big Show and Christian and Chris Jericho who are working for the competition now, who would be obvious kind of entries into the Hall of Fame, especially in this years of people that they're putting in, but they're not going in anytime soon as long as they're working for Tony Khan. So I think WWE has a Hall of Fame problem, and that's kind of what I'm bringing to the question to you guys. Do you agree with me that WWE has a Hall of Fame problem?
No, potentially, yeah. I agree with you on that. I think there'll be a point maybe in about 10, 15 years where you'll have another glob of people, the Seth Rollins or Roman Reigns, all those guys, as they get closer to the end of their, or at the end of their, days. I think what's happening too also, as you see, if these guys are fighting, a lot more of these guys are wrestling well into their 40s, into the 50s now. The wellness is better now. So as a result, you can have a longer career. Now, obviously, the Hogans, the Ric Flairs, that extended their time more longer than it should have been. Those are still rare. A lot of the mid-carders end up leaving the business and all that. And we're able to honor those guys. Yeah, that's going to be a problem going forward. And it might be a problem within the next maybe 5 or 10 years. Now, 50 years down the road, I see that being not less of an issue. But for the next maybe 5 or 10 years, that could be an issue as these guys continue to wrestle. Because Bobby Lashley, for example, will probably be a Hall of Famer at some point. He's 46 years old and looks like he's in his prime of his career. So that's an example of a guy that
he's 46 years
Yeah.
old. Wow, that's crazy.
and he is, for the way he looks, is nowhere close to retirement right now.
Yeah,
Nowhere
no.
close to retirement. So yeah, I agree with you. We're gonna have a problem with guy with That's why it was kind of shocking they put Kane in like this soon, only because you can
Yeah.
use Kane. To me, is a headlining guy, in my opinion. He should be headlining a fucking.
Their next 3 Hall of Fame classes are basically already headlined.
With who? Undertaker.
Taker at some point.
LA is going to be Batista. Texas is going to be
Taker.
You know, and then wherever they have the third one, you probably could
The Rock.
That's who I would go to. And if it's not The Rock, you know, the other person it could be if he retires is Bryan.
I mean, you got Cena floating around there too. He's obviously a big name at some point. His wrestling career is over. Let's be honest. Like, I don't even know that I buy Cena popping up for a match or two anymore at this point. I feel like he's kind of made it in Hollywood. Like,
the only way I could see it happening is if it's exactly what The Rock did against him. Came back for the 2 WrestleManias back to back, and literally that was it.
And I think it would almost it would take having a talent that was like John Cena level when The Rock came back for Cena to come back, because that would make it worth it, which I don't actually think we have right now. Nobody in that quite level of a role. But I think one thing that's interesting too, I would say, is when it comes to like Triple H, who's someone, I feel like they're going to save him till the last possible moment, only because he's the most dependable person, like other than Vince himself.
Which could happen next 5 to 10 years.
Huh?
Which could happen next 5 years, because this problem is going to occur probably sooner than we think.
Right. That's in like Triple H is your like break in case of emergency. Like, we can put him in the Hall of Fame at any given time. Same with any of the McMahons in general, because it's not like any of them are in there other than I think the dad, like the granddad.
Right.
The originator company.
Senior.
Yeah, Senior.
15K McMahon.
Yeah. But no, I mean, like, that's the thing. Like, you know, look, in baseball and other Hall of Fames, like more like real sports Hall of Fames, not to say wrestling's not a real sport, but you know what I mean. And team sport Hall of Fames, they have, you know, what's the qualification, like, time wise? Like
5 years.
Most of them are 5 years.
Yeah.
So, but here's the thing, right? That works in a sport where you have hundreds upon hundreds of players on a yearly basis entering the thing. You know what I mean? You have so much of a talent pool to choose from that it's easy to get classes of people like to enter the Hall of Fame. You don't have that with WWE, because this isn't even just a wrestling in general Hall of Fame. This is all based entirely on basically WWE for the most part. Like, yeah, they have 1 or 2 people like Justin Liger's going in, and like, you know, Antonio Inoki's in. You got 1 or 2 people where it's like, hey, we're acknowledging their contributions to pro wrestling history in general. But for the most part, most of the entries into the WWE Hall of Fame are kind of based on WWE. So given that, like I said, like, I think that's one of the biggest problems, because, like, honestly, you're not putting Carlito in the Hall of Fame. You're not putting Snitsky in the Hall of Fame. You know, you're not putting like Luther Reigns on a fucking DVD.
What about Warlord?
Hall of Fame.
What about Warlord?
But see, if they wanted Warlord in, I feel like he'd already be in.
Yeah, I know. I'm joking around, obviously.
What?
Warlord.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I feel like they're shooting themselves in the foot by still doing these like 5-6 people class Hall of Fames. Like, I think they'd be better off maybe doing only like 2-3 people. Maybe just cover a category each. Like, do a single star, do a woman, do a tag team, or stable.
Spread it out.
Right, exactly. Maybe it's time to start putting matches in the Hall of Fame.
I will say this much though: 2030s, they're gonna have a lot of people to put in there. You know, I said, as Romans and the Dolph Zigglers and all these, you know, the Bray Wyatts and people from the 2010s. You know, late 2000s, early 2010s.
Right.
Become, you know, retired, all that. They're gonna have another influx of great. Because one thing I will say these last 10 years, the talent level is phenomenal.
So
you may not like the booking. The booking may be shitty at times, but the talent level in the next 10 years been phenomenal.
Oh yeah, best I think it's ever been, personally.
Absolutely. I totally agree.
Question for you guys.
Okay.
Number 1, how would you feel about them starting to put matches into the Hall of Fame?
I mean, you could do something, I guess, to honor the matches. I guess. I'm not against the idea of honoring the matches. I mean, how would that work? I guess.
I mean, you just say, hey, this yada yada match is going in the Hall of Fame. You have the two competitors give the acceptance speech.
Like they have that. They have something like that
whatever.
similar, like to like some of the other sports, right? I think like that's what it's like.
I
Certain
don't
games,
think.
maybe
I don't
moments.
think that I would be for that because of a very specific reason.
Why
What?
is that?
One of the greatest WrestleMania matches of all time would not be able to be in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, when Brett.
No, you mean to tell me that the fucking triple threat match from WrestleMania 20 with Benoit, Michaels, and
Benoit?
Triple H
Yeah.
is ever going to fucking be put in there with Chris Benoit's name attached to it?
But I mean, Benoit in general is never going to be in a Hall of Fame. Like,
But how can you, on a short list of greatest WrestleMania matches of all time,
Yeah.
it's on that list. You can't ignore that. Like, I get it. Like, he's a scumbag, and we talked about it. But when you look at, like, if you look at, like, best WrestleMania matches, if everybody says that that's in the top 5, and you're putting in, like, some random women's title match from fucking some random ass WrestleMania over it because of who's attached to it, I don't think you can take it serious.
I mean,
Is it top 5 for real? You think?
First, I'll say I don't actually like. I think it's a really great match, a fantastic match. I don't think it's even within the top. Like, maybe it's in the top 50 WWE matches of all time, but it's like in the 40 to 50 number for me. I could easily.
What about Mania matches though?
That's what
matches. It's maybe in the top 20. Maybe I'd have to
Good
really
match.
sit down and kind of go through everything. But also too, I kind of just disagree with the logic there, though. That like because this one thing can't be included, let's not do it at all. It's like throwing the baby out with the bathwater. You know what I mean? Like let's not have a Hall of Fame at all then because we can't have Benoit in it. Like that. You know what I'm saying? Like.
Well, Bad Bunny will Hall of Fame at some point.
No, it's not. It's not what I'm. What I think the reality of the situation is how can you leave out a top 50 match? You're not leaving a top 50 player out of the NFL Hall of Fame.
Well, I mean, you could argue that there's wrestlers who, because of their careers, would belong, but
Joe, they put fucking O.J. Simpson in the fucking Football Hall of Fame. He murdered fucking 3 people. Come on, dude.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, my dick.
Okay, allegedly.
The guy fucking killed 3 people, and we put him in the fucking Hall of Fame. And
we
still talk about how great
he's a murderer. Allegedly.
Okay, exactly. My point.
I don't want to get sued. To the record. So.
If the glove don't fit, you must have quit. Well, guess what, motherfucker? The glove fit. You just bought a fucking youth extra large at the trial. Allegedly. Dumbass.
Allegedly.
The way I look at it from the situation, if you're going to do matches.
Yeah.
You're also going to then open up the box of worms of the other company. You mean to tell me that there isn't a Chris Jericho match that isn't in the top 10? You mean the Edge, Christian, Hardy Boys, Dudley Boys, TLC match? Like, you're not going to put that in because Christian's on the other show? Or you're just going to leave him out of the acceptance speech? I mean, there's so many fucking loopholes.
That's a good argument to me because especially since they like having the people there. Like, half the people who have died who aren't in the Hall of Fame, they're not in the Hall of Fame because Vince doesn't like the idea of doing this. Allegedly, as Ernest likes to say.
Allegedly.
I don't know if this glove fits or not.
I'll be right back, my way. Right back. Keep talking. Right back.
Yeah, allegedly, Vince doesn't like the idea of doing Hall of Fame people. I don't know what he's doing.
He was doing air quotes here, allegedly. Allegedly.
Vince doesn't like the idea of having Hall of Fame people entering where there's not some kind of speech from the actual person. Because half the time, like the family, it's not the same thing, unless it happens to be that it's a famous person accepting for it, like if Rocky Johnson, was Rocky Johnson alive when he got put in or was that posthumous? And if it wasn't posthumous, it's because The Rock gave the speech. I know that much. He at least gave the introduction.
No, I think he was alive because I think he went in with High Chief in 2008. I'm actually looking at the Clash right now. They were both inducted by Rocky.
Yes.
But I think Rocky Johnson died in 2020. So yeah, he was alive.
Oh, wow, I didn't realize he had died that recently.
Yep. Peter Maivia, the High Chief, died in 1982, so obviously he was
gone. Yeah,
posthumously inducted.
But
The
no,
thing here,
that makes sense to me though, because you're right. Like they like having people there, so you're right. Like you're not gonna have the first TLC or the second technically TLC match, the first one at WrestleMania, but TLC was the first. So yeah. Anyway, you couldn't ask those fucking questions. I clearly know this information, but anyway. So they're not gonna have that because yeah, you're right. Like Bully Ray's not in the company, and Christian literally works for the competition, and Matt Hardy works for the competition. So you're not doing that, and that would be bullshit to not have something like that in especially for reasons like that. Like those are dumb reasons to not include it.
yeah. What I was thinking here is I don't necessarily think that they've killed themselves because there are still guys that you could put in from the past as well.
Okay.
I don't know. Is Earthquake in the Hall of Fame?
I don't think so, but I think he's another one of those like he's passed away, so we don't.
No, he's definitely passed away. But I'm saying from a standpoint, I'm simply speaking from gimmick / in-ring work. You could do a class that has him in it. Vader isn't in. You could put him in. Obviously the two that I touched on with Dave and what the fuck else did I mention? God damn it, Taker.
Oh yeah, sure.
You know, you have them as anchors of classes coming up. You have Cena eventually as an anchor of a class coming up. You have The Rock who could anchor a class if you're coming up. The way I look at it is if they have a solid like 7 guys to be the draw for the show, you can fill the rest of it in with 3 or 4 people and make it fucking work. I mean, the way I look at it, you could put Mike Rotunda and Ted DiBiase as Money Inc. in there if you really fucking wanted to. I don't even think they're in the Hall of Fame. That'd be a fun one to listen to.
I don't even think the Rockers are in. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know if they want Jannetty around.
Well, I was gonna say if you plan a WrestleMania in whatever state Marty Jannetty's not allowed to leave, you can put the Rockers in. That'd be kind of cool.
That's facts. Is Demolition in?
I don't know. I think they only very recently started even putting tag teams in general.
I'm looking right now. Obviously, they put the Road Warriors in 2011.
Right.
The Horsemen in 2012. No, but me and Joe have just been talking. They really started the Hall of Fame stuff in 2004.
Right.
Like they did a couple of random ones.
Andre the Giant.
93, Andre the Giant, 93.
Yeah. 93, 94, 95, and 96. And then it was a steep drop-off till 2004. That class, there was not a single tag team that went in.
Right.
The next class was 05, not a single tag team. 06, you had the Blackjacks, Mulligan and Lanza. 07, you had the Wild Samoans. 08, the Briscoe Brothers. 09, you had the Funks and the Von Erichs. 2010, no tag team. 2011, the Road Warriors.
That's weird, though. No tag teams.
Vince McMahon hates tag teams.
Well, then don't fucking book it, then, asshole.
He doesn't.
2012 was the Horsemen. 2013, there was no tag team. 14, there was no tag team. 15, you had the Bushwhackers. 16, you had the Fabulous Freebirds. 17, you had the Rock and Roll Express. 18, you had the Dudleys. 19, you had DX, Harlem Heat, and the Hart Foundation.
Oh, you want who will load on 2019?
Right.
The 2020 class included the Bella Twins and the New World Order for tag team / group, but none from this year's class.
Weird.
So the way I look at it is, again, they have some anchors there: Cena, Taker, Batista, Triple H, to get them through the next 4 years realistically. If you need the draw to sell, but you could always hook a Vader, Earthquake,
the Rockers.
Yeah, you missed that. You missed that part.
Is JBL in the Hall of Fame?
JBL was part of the 2020 class that's going in right now.
Mm-hmm. He's going in now.
That class was JBL, the British Bulldog, Jushin Thunder Liger, the New World Order, the Bella Twins, William Shatner, and then the Warrior Award.
Okay.
Right.
Which I think they should have given to Shad Gaspard. But
they really should have. Instead.
Yeah, I agree.
They missed the boat on that one.
Yeah. That's it.
But the way I look at it, there's a lot of WCW guys that you could always fall back on too. You know, with them owning the library to WCW, like there's a
Mhm.
lot of WCW guys that you could fall back and get in.
Scott Steiner.
Disco Inferno.
As a Hall of Fame guy.
Disco Inferno.
I would put the Steiner brothers in.
Did I
I
end
put the
yet?
Steiner brothers in.
Did I end yet?
No.
That's complete bullshit.
Did you not literally hear
What
the
part
tag
of-
teams that he already read off 5
No,
seconds ago?
I'm shocked. That is stunning to me. That is stunning.
I, for one, am
I mean,
going to
it's-
write a strongly worded letter and send it to Connecticut.
I mean, it probably doesn't help that Scott's super opinionated, and he was really kind of shitting on them for a while, and then he was in Impact for however long.
But didn't WWE recently sign like Rick Steiner's kid? Am I crazy in thinking that? Like
I don't
to a
know.
elemental
That was
deal?
AEW.
Or was that AEW? He's working somewhere.
I don't know.
AEW.
I don't know. I don't know off the top of my head.
If I'm right that it's WWE, that he's like one of the like he's doing the what do they call their facility? Come on, guys, I'm
Performance
high.
Center?
Yeah,
Performance
the
Center.
Performance Center. If he's one of the Performance Center guys, if I'm right about that, and they potentially use that as a connection to get Rick Steiner kind of in, that could be a potential in there for the Steiner brothers, like to get in. Or maybe even the thing is like Scott Steiner's WWF run, total fucking flop. We've relived it recently. It gets worse with time. It's
Trash.
it aged like milk, and it started out pretty sour to begin with. Okay, but Scott Steiner's WCW run, kind of awesome, honestly. Kind of, if WCW was the company that still existed and had a Hall of Fame, he would have been in there forever ago. So, you know, I do think there's some argument there that like he can make it in.
Horace Hogan should get in too.
I think that's a nice way of saying let's move on to the next topic.
I mean, at this point, I think Virgil's got a better shot.
Yeah, he should get. I mean,
You know who they should put in, all seriousness?
right.
One of the greatest jobbers of all time, Barry
Brooklyn
Horowitz. Barry Horowitz.
Yeah, I don't mind it.
Did
Or
you
is
miss that? I literally said the Brooklyn Baller instead of Brawler. Like
I
I
missed the
totally
Baller.
just missed the R. I took him from being like fucking on the streets to fucking like, hey.
Anyway,
Brooklyn Bowling.
last topic of the night, and we're gonna do this topic because of life happens. Like I said earlier in the top of the show, because of scheduling situations. Now, we're not gonna have a regular show for about 2 weeks, but we are planning on doing reaction shows to takeovers next week. Hopefully, we'll see how that works out. Definitely the WrestleMania, as you guys will be attending WrestleMania both nights. So we hope that's a reaction podcast for that. So this is our last regular show for 2 weeks. So take as you will. So because of that, we decided to do a WrestleMania preview right now. Might as well. I mean, I don't see this card changing much or at all between now and next Saturday. So
Look, I'm going to tell you something, and I texted this to Mike the other day. Before we even start previewing matches, let me just give a general blanket statement opinion about this current WrestleMania, okay? On paper, I think this card is absolutely fantastic. Like, I am looking forward to this show. I'm looking forward to being there. I'm not thrilled about being around 45,000 people, but I'm looking forward to being at the event. I'm looking forward to our first live wrestling show since last February. That wasn't exactly a barn burner of a show. So I'm looking forward to being able to like have this experience. And, you know, going to WrestleMania, always an experience. I realized earlier today when I was talking to a friend, three of my favorite things to do with people, with friends, to make memories are going to concerts, going to wrestling shows, and road trips or / vacation in general. You make memories that last your entire life. You have inside jokes with people that like you'll be making 7-8 years later. You might have nothing else in common with this person other than the inside joke, but it happens.
He doesn't even know the guy.
Exactly. Come on, I started singing it before. Flip flops, like you know what I'm talking about, right? This is what I'm saying. So and like that doesn't happen.
Even though
go to all these
even though
WrestleManias.
even those two inside jokes, I don't think we speak to the originator of one or the originator of the other one.
No, literally not. Like, they're just facts.
I'm kind of glad I said this though, because a couple weeks ago when this card was getting filled out, I think we all agreed that night one was far more intriguing than night two. Now I look at this card. I'm still night one, but it's a lot closer than
Let me finish what I was saying. I tangented stuff.
Okay.
So fucking Ernest. Okay, so what was I saying? Oh, right. So my thing is, on paper, I think both nights actually are fantastic, and on paper, I'm very excited for this show. I think that, like you were saying, the talent roster, if the booking sucks, the talent roster doesn't. So the fact that they've matched the people that they've matched together and they're giving us the card they're giving us, I'm very excited for. I think these people are going to actually put on one hell of a WrestleMania. I think that this is the talent roster that is ready to go out there and say, fuck, this is the first time we're in front of a live audience in over a year. Let's make this magic. And I trust these people to do that. So I'm excited. I think that the booking for the last few weeks has been so by the numbers. Let's just get to where we're going without messing it up too much. That, like, Raw's boring. I watched Raw this past week. It was boring as shit. And by the way, I don't buy that the Hurt Business actually broke up. I think that's just a swerve, and they're going to get back together.
I'm so glad I said that, because I'm
right?
going to touch on that.
I feel like that's
swerve.
Right? Too obvious. But that's what I'm saying. This is paint by the numbers booking, because I think they're afraid to mess up what a good thing. Like, they finally settled on a really good card for both nights, and they're like, okay, now let's just get there. Like, if it was up to them, if they could just be like, let's fast forward 3 weeks and just have WrestleMania, I think they would have done that 3 weeks ago. And I think that the booking on Raw in particular, SmackDown's been really good. I didn't watch this past week. I don't know if they added anything or whatever. But, well, wait, today's Thursday. Okay, I haven't watched this week's yet because it happens tomorrow. But the fact is, like, SmackDown is generally the better show. So I'm not quite talking about them as much, but certainly Raw.
SmackDown really right now might be the best show on wrestling television right now. Across the board.
It's been pretty dynamite.
Yeah. Well, the Diamond's been pretty decent the last couple weeks, but go ahead, Mike. What you gonna say?
The other thing on that is they also were in a spot where they don't want anyone to get hurt.
Yes.
So they're just trying to get to the show. And I think it makes sense because they're turning the Friday episode of SmackDown next week into the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal and the SmackDown Tag Title match and, so stuff like that.
Everyone that's not going to be on WrestleMania anyway, it's like, all right, well, if something happens, God forbid, it's one of you guys, but at least our show's not fucked.
Well, I mean, it's one of those where they're basically taking a chance of like, oh, we won't have to put Roman or Bryan out there or Edge, and one of them slip, walk into the ring, and pull a hamstring, and they lose them 2 nights later from the match or something.
Right.
I think they're trying to be very cautious with some of the matches. Like, reality, you're not going to see Drew McIntyre or Bobby Lashley in a wrestling match next Monday night on Raw.
No.
Because you need to get them to the gate to get to night one. So, I mean,
just do a face-off. Fuck it. Do a fucking, like, old-school face-off. I mean, just move the storyline. You need to do.
I don't know if you really need to move the storyline. The storyline's already been moved.
I'm just saying, do a face-off.
The pinnacle of them. I mean, sure. Or we could do 37 contract signings like every other fucking week we do before a fucking pay-per-view. Whatever.
I don't know. Anyway.
Let's preview
this. Wasn't long. It's 2 nights here. So let's get to night one real quick.
I'm gonna say it might feel long. This is not the first time I've started a sentence like that. Anyway, it might feel long, but I will take 2 nights of WrestleManias where, like, it's from 7 to 10 p.m. each night. I will take that over these 8-hour WrestleManias where, like, by the time the pre-show's over, I'm exhausted. I will take these shorter 2 nights. Like, part of me is hoping, I said this a while ago, and Mike said that there was no way this possibly happens. I still think this is a test run to see whether or not 2 nights of WrestleMania could become a regular thing in the future. I kind of hope it does, because this sounds so much less exhausting.
Right.
They would have to consider going to smaller venues though.
Yeah.
Like I don't think they could fill Jerry World in Dallas
like it's
back-to-back nights.
It's one thing to be selling 45,000 tickets. It's another to be selling 70,000 tickets per night.
103,000 like it was
Right.
in Dallas. So we went back-to-back nights. Yeah, 206,000 tickets sounds great. But are people going to be able to afford 206,000 tickets? I don't fucking think so.
I mean, unless you get like night one is being headlined by The Rock versus someone, and night two is John Cena versus someone.
Sure.
The Rock, Roman Reigns on night one, and you got John Cena versus fucking I don't know who, someone who could Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins, somebody.
Speaking of Seth Rollins, let's kick off the night one matches here. Seth Rollins and Cesaro. Looking forward to this match, man. Really am.
I'm extra. Look, these are two guys who I can speak for myself. I think I'm speaking for Mike also, who we've watched since the beginnings of their careers in Ring of Honor, in Chikara, at least in Claudio's case, in Pro Wrestling Guerrilla. We've seen them wrestle each other, both in tag team situations and one-on-one, countless times. And it was amazing. And that was like 15, 16 years ago when they were starting their careers. Now, granted, are they going to get a 30-minute slot on WrestleMania and be able to have a 5-star classic? No. Are they going to hopefully get a good 15, 16 minutes and be able to give us like a 4-star match that we're really excited about? Maybe even be the best match of night one? Possibly. I hope so. If they only get 5-10 minutes, it's a waste. But I don't feel like the card's being structured that way, so I'm hoping that they get a decent amount of time. Because honestly, the two of them together can literally be magic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this one is one of those low-key, show-stealing kind of matches. You know what you get from Seth when he comes out for those shows? Let's not forget one of the greatest RKOs ever taken at WrestleMania. And then later that night he cashes in Money in the Bank. He's been a guy who's been a constant plus in all of his matches. His match last year with Kevin Owens was one of the better one of the better in-ring matches of the shows. So I think everything's going to be the same way when you look at this one. I'm gonna make a formal prediction because I like making predictions, and I'm gonna predict who I think's gonna win all the cards. I'm actually gonna take kind of the upset here. I'm gonna take Cesaro to win.
So am I. I think.
I'm gonna take Cesaro to win too, and here I'm gonna give you a really bold prediction on this match. I think we should all do some bold predictions here and there. Here's my bold prediction. Mike just mentioned the really awesome RKO at that WrestleMania. Was it 31? 31, 32?
31. It was Santa Clara.
California.
Yeah, Santa Clara.
All right. I think we're getting a version of that spot here. I think we're going to get Rollins trying to go for the stomp, and Cesaro somehow either pushing him up and either landing the fucking uppercut or catching him and doing the swing. We're getting that spot. And Cesaro is going to be made from this show, or at least until Vince changes his mind.
I just don't see this point. I think there's more to game Cesaro winning than Seth winning, honestly.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
No.
I mean, I think this is leading into a summer feud between someone we'll talk about in a little bit, and Cesaro for a certain title.
Hey, okay. Speaking of that, all right. The Miz versus Bad Bunny.
It's not racist. I'm Colombian.
Okay, I gotta be honest with you. I hated the whole Bad Bunny thing from the get-go with Royal Rumble. I'm not hating this feud though, as it's going on.
Hate it from the get-go.
Because you're a shit. I'm that fucking wrestling fan. It's like enough of the fucking celebrities, but it's WWE. I get it, but I gotta be honest with you. I have been low-key enjoying this feud. It's kept me interested for the last 2.5 months.
I mean, they've booked it in a way where it's not felt like it's been as long as it is. It's been smart booking in that sense. And the thing is, I'm not mad at Bad Bunny being there. He looks like he's having fun.
Absolutely.
He looks like he's taking it seriously when he needs to. Do I think he's going to put on a 5-star classic? No, but look, I love The Miz, and I don't think he's going to put on a 5-star classic against anybody either, except for maybe Daniel Bryan. And I'm a huge Miz fan. That's just not what I watch The Miz for. And I think what you do watch The Miz for is perfect for a celebrity match at WrestleMania, you know? And at the end of the day, too, like, look, we all kind of snickered when they announced Snooki, and then she went out there and had one of the best moments that a woman had prior to Sasha Banks and Charlotte Flair being on the show. So I think Bad Bunny might surprise us. My question is, does night one end in some kind of shenanigans? Although apparently, according to Mike, that only like never happens. It's as rare as the fucking like Halley's Comet. But does night one end in shenanigans, and then we get a tag match on night two?
I don't think so. I think that it was supposed to be a tag title match all along.
Okay.
And I think either Priest or Morrison's dinged up, and I think that's why we're not getting the tag match.
Oh.
Right. I've seen that kind of floating around as a rumor, and I think
I
that
heard
makes
Morrison
sense.
hurt his hair.
I heard that too. Too much hairspray. Yeah. No. The only thing I don't like about this feud is the really terrible Bad Bunny t-shirts they put out on WWE Shop that people are buying. The one of him doing like the press from WrestleMania where he's like, "Yay!" and you see the people trying to catch him. I'm like, what are we doing?
That should be like a TikTok trend. Like, do the Bad Bunny.
Like, and the problem is they're selling it for like $40 and people will buy it. It's literally a guy going, "Wee!"
I feel like that's going to be one of the shirts we see the most of at WrestleMania.
I hope you know that if I see someone wearing that shirt, I might just ask them, "Can I write the little character bubble?" and just go, "Wee!" So it looks like he's saying "wee" as he's falling.
No, what we need to do is, here's something we need to do, and we will share it on the show, especially now that we do video on YouTube. So this will be a real reason for people to go to YouTube. Anyone we see wearing the shirt, we need to go stand next to them and get a photo of us going, like with them just in the middle between us. Anyone we see, we just walk up. It's like, remember the year you kept asking wrestlers to TiVo? So
yes.
You got to walk up to the fans and be like, "Hey,
can we do the Bad Bunny
photo?" And
because
I feel like at least half of them will say yes.
Yeah, like, we're doing this for science. Can I get you doing? Can I get a picture of us doing the Bad Bunny next to you?
Call me crazy. I see Bad Bunny winning this match with some Gaga.
Oh yeah, I don't think there's any way the Miz wins this match.
I think me and Joe have a better shot at winning an unannounced tag match than the Miz does of winning this match.
I mean, does the celebrity ever lose at WrestleMania? Mr. Quizmaster over there. There's a question for you.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I've never seen a celebrity lose.
I mean, most of them have beaten the Big Show, but other than that,
other than Pete Rose getting fucking tombstoned by Kane every year.
That wasn't a match.
But no, I'm saying, but you know, no, yeah. All right.
Next.
This is Joe's.
Yes, I'll take Bad Bunny.
Oh yeah, I'll take my money.
Yeah,
take my money.
Across the board.
Yeah. This is the match I'm sure Joe's looking forward to watching the most. Steel cage match between Shane McMahon and you know who. Braun Strowman.
The only thing that I can hope is that somehow Shane McMahon tries to get on top of the cage and then just climbs up the side scaffold and just jumps off the fucking like scoreboard or something. Like that's all I can hope for.
Off of something high. That's the only reason this match is happening.
I'm rooting for Shane. I'm rooting for Shane to win this match.
I'm rooting for storyline to end. It's the fucking dumbest. Like, even if I didn't already dislike Braun Strowman with the passion of 1,000 rolls of brawny paper towels, I would hate him even like newly now because of how dumb this fucking storyline is. This storyline is so stupid. It got the same grades that Braun Strowman got in school.
Can we talk about though how like we're so angry at the Braun Strowman storyline? This motherfucker main evented fucking WrestleMania last year and won the world title.
Yep.
And now he's wrestling Shane McMahon in a steel cage match on night one in a fucking feud that he had green slime painted on him.
Which might be the worst match of the night, by the way. Look at this card.
He also won. His record at WrestleMania is like low-key sort of legit, though, in a weird way. Like, he's won the tag titles with a 12-year-old. He
allegedly
won the world title because Roman Reigns couldn't perform.
Won the Andre the Giant Battle Royal 1 year.
Mm-hmm. Right. Like, he's probably beating Shane McMahon, let's be honest.
Yeah.
My pick is Braun Strowman.
Yeah, like, I'm sorry, there's no way that this feud ends if Shane wins this match, and dear fucking God, like, this feud needs to end. I will,
It only ended Braun wins it.
Yeah.
So, all right. Raw tag team titles on the line.
Are both you taking Braun Strowman?
Yes.
Yes, we are.
Taking
Raw.
trash.
All right, the Raw tag team titles on the line between the New Day versus AJ Styles and Omos. This is gonna be a low-key good match, I think.
I mean, I have
but
no.
Why?
Well, okay, right. So here's the thing: AJ Styles, one of the best wrestlers of all time, hands down, no question, right? The New Day, Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston, both fantastic wrestlers. Certainly. I mean, again, talk about Kofi Kingston winning the world title a few years ago, and now here he is in a match where someone's literally making their debut. And I think that's the thing. I don't think any of us. I mean, okay. I shouldn't speak for everybody. I should only speak for myself. However, I will continue to speak for everybody. I don't think any of us actually think that Omos is going to, all of a sudden go out there and put on a 5-star clinic. So the funny part is, right, I think they've put him in a match with 3 of the certifiably best wrestlers on the roster, hoping that he's going to look good by their hands, basically. I think that more likely he's going to end up making them look kind of bad. And that's my fear. I also think they're not going to end up giving this match very much time. If those guys are out there for more than 8 minutes and 14 seconds, I will be surprised. So
why 8:14?
Why not? So at the end of the day, I think that AJ and Omos are going to win because they're giving almost some sort of weird, really big push, and I don't know where it's going because I don't know what he can or can't do yet. I wish I had more confidence as of right now. He started cutting promos the other day. That did not instill much confidence in me. So I don't know where we're going with this, but I think AJ and Omos are winning the belts.
Yeah, I think so too.
I feel like this would have been better if there was more teams in it.
Yeah. I mean, it just also feels like a waste of AJ Styles. It really does.
I mean, it does, but the way they've been building him with Omos, it's almost like you knew that eventually they were going to be a tag team.
Yes.
So it's like, why not use it here on a 2-night WrestleMania card where there really wasn't another spot to put him, especially the way they've been using the mid card on Raw. Unless they made the U.S. title clusterfuck, which they're not doing for either of the mid card titles. So that's why I'm literally it just doesn't make sense to have AJ. They've been doing this. Why not just cash in on it?
Right.
I'm going to pick them to win too. I mean, I kind of hope they don't, just because where does the Raw tag division go from here? Because it's who's going to fucking challenge AJ and fucking the Brawny Paper Towel Man? I don't fucking know.
Right.
But it's not going to be anybody decent. I mean, with the New Day going to feud them for the next 6 months? Cool. We'll see at SummerSlam.
Right.
All right. The SmackDown Women's title on the line between Sasha Banks, the champion, versus Bianca Belair, who obviously got her chance by winning the Royal Rumble. I gotta be honest with you. I'm not as confident today about whether or not they'll pull a trigger on Bianca.
Why? What happened?
I just don't know. I don't know. I just have a gut feeling.
You woke up and your tummy was feeling funny and you were just like, oh, they're not pushing Bianca no more.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's exactly what you said.
You know how Vince is. You know what Vince is.
It's a little bubbly in the belly.
A little that. I was 100% Bianca win this until maybe a couple days ago. I'm like, I'm not so sure. I'll pick it just cause, but wouldn't surprise me if Sasha retains.
It wouldn't surprise me if Sasha retains because I do think that they look at Sasha. It's clear in the women's division more than any other division in this company who they look at as the pillars of the division, who they can depend on, and who they're just look, there's no reason for us not to make these people the top people still. And that's Sasha, that's Charlotte, until recently, I suppose. I don't know what the fuck's going on there. And then that's did you see that crazy story about her? It was a false
pregnancy
test, and they basically So Andrade, he told this whole story recently about how she got a phone call from WWE, from the doctor, saying that she might be pregnant. She got a positive pregnancy test. And right away, they basically pull her off the road, quote unquote. So she's at home, recovering. And then it turns out it was a false positive. So she lost like a month of her career to a false positive test, which honestly, when you're an athlete, that could potentially be like the rest of your career. You come back, you have one match, you get injured like that, so especially now you have ring rust and stuff like that. It was kind of a messed up situation. But anyway, that wasn't any of the point. I don't know how we got here. But when it comes to like the women, I do see Sasha as one of those women that they see as like a real dependable staple. So I can see her retaining, even if this is the main event. However, I feel like in the women's division, they're aware of the fact that they also need to make some new stars. They need some new big names. You can't always go back to Asuka. You can't always go back to Sasha, Becky, Charlotte. You need some new fresh blood. And obviously, I don't know who's behind it. Obviously, Vince is behind it at some level because otherwise it doesn't happen. But they're behind Bianca. It feels like they're really
which I love. The big surprise that Bayley's involved in this match also.
No.
I would be
so?
very surprised by that.
I'd be very... No, you're not doing it at this point. At this point, if Bayley was going to be involved, it would have been weeks ago. But you had Sasha... You had Sasha and Bayley for the last fucking 5-6 months or whatever. So no, at earliest, I could see Bayley getting involved with it the Friday after WrestleMania as being the first one to challenge the new champion Bianca Belair for her title. Like I could see that.
For the record, it low-key kind of sucks that Bayley, after being one of the biggest stars in the company for the past year, is apparently just riding the bench at WrestleMania.
Wonder why.
Because sometimes they just move on from people for no apparent reason, and it's really annoying.
But she was red hot. PWI Women's Rest of the Year. It's weird.
It's like she'll come back around. It's not like I don't think she's going to get pushed again.
Yeah, she's going to be on the show. I guarantee you she's going to be on the show.
Yeah.
Her and insert random fuck here are going to win the women's tag title gauntlet match and face Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler on night 2.
You really think so?
Yes, I think she teams with some random schmo, whether it be a Natty or a Billy Kay or a fucking Peyton Royce. I don't give a shit who it is. Like,
right.
I think they win. I don't know if they beat Shayna and Nia. Let's put it that way.
Right.
All right.
But that's a way to get her on not only one night of the show, but.
Well, all right. So I'm gonna give some sort of blind fate to WWE. Dear God, I don't know why. And I'm gonna.
Are you feeling well?
No. And I'm gonna pick Bianca. No, I'm fine. I'm gonna pick Bianca to win this match.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm with Joe. Yeah, I'm gonna take Bianca because I think either Sasha or Bayley is gonna end up on Raw.
Are they doing the draft like right after Mania?
No, I don't think so.
No, but I think. But I think at this point, the Raw Women's Division is Asuka and Rhea Ripley. There isn't anyone else. Lacey Evans is pregnant. Charlotte Flair fell off the face of the earth. You got to do something.
Total aside, I mean, I guess we could possibly cover this next week if we have a show next week. Do you think there's going to be any big surprises Raw after WrestleMania? Or you think it's going to be a pretty kind of uneventful week? I guess Raw / and SmackDown, but because there's not like it's good.
I don't see anything out of the ordinary, really. At least.
Yeah. Well, not having fans there to pop for whatever the return would be, would kind of make it where, like last year, the Raw after WrestleMania, what did we have moment-wise?
I don't remember a thing.
I don't know what I'm saying. I don't think there was anything. I think it's more the same.
They were just in survival mode last year. Just get to the fucking match.
Also for the record, there is a rumor floating around that Sasha told WWE Germany that this match is actually going to close night 1 of WrestleMania.
Good. I hope it does.
That would be awesome.
It'd be amazing.
I don't know that I need it to close night 1.
Well, the reason why I think it's going to close out because I think this match is going to be the opener of the fucking night, and that is the WWE Championship match between Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre.
I can totally see that.
I'd almost them rather open with the women's title match.
Ooh.
I'm sorry, you have the guy who fucking strapped the fucking rocket ship to his back for the last fucking year, built him up for the last year and a half, gave him his quote WrestleMania moment, but his WrestleMania moment was seen by one fan. It was an extremely large fan. It may have been the Raw fan of the year.
Joe's favorite fan in the world.
So I look at it from the standpoint of, Drew with an elaborate entrance, Bobby with an elaborate entrance, a guy who, now that you have him finally being over with the Hurt Business, like, I get it. Like, opening with that would be awesome. But I don't know that you can take the spot from the guy who's been the guy for the last year and a half and just be like, well, these two women should put on a good match.
I'll give the one argument that I can make for it, and I don't want to get too deep into it, but just like simple argument. If they do it like this, and the only reason why I like it, where each night is headlined by the winner of one of the Royal Rumbles. And because that used to be the thing. You won the Royal Rumble, you got to fight for the world title in the main event of WrestleMania. That was the thing for the longest time. And I know, unfortunately, over the years, that's not always been the thing. But that would be a kind of cool little throwback to actually, hey, this is what you get when you win the Royal Rumble. Edge doesn't even get a title shot all to himself anymore, but at least he still gets the main event on night 2. It'd be kind of cool if, hey, Bianca, you won Royal Rumble and you get to main event WrestleMania on night 1. Plus, I always love when they do something kind of awesome for the women. So from that standpoint, I think it would be cool to have one night main event by men, one night main event by women. And I think that the triple threat makes more sense as the main event of the two men's main events.
Right. This match is the one match I really don't know which way they're going to go, because you can make case for either of these guys winning and it makes sense. Drew getting his Mania moment, Lashley, extending Lashley's epic run right now. This is the one match I can't put my pulse on. Like, what exactly?
Oh, I can. Go? No, this is easy. This is easy. Drew wins, gets his Mania moment. Lashley wins the title back by the next pay-per-view. Drew, we don't need another long Drew title reign. We're in the middle of a really good Lashley title reign. And they've shown us, they've certainly proven to us, like with the Randy Orton title reign in the middle of Drew's, first reign, that they're willing to pass the title off for a moment and then pass it back to the person with the title reign that they were really building. Like, that's literally what they did with Orton when he won it from Drew so that he could have his 16th reign, had it for all of a month, and then got back to his storyline with The Fiend, and Drew got back to his title reign, essentially. It was so short, you almost forget that Drew wasn't just a one-time champion, that it was broken up there. I think that's what we're going to get. I think Drew's going to get his big moment, because I don't think Lashley needs the big WrestleMania moment. He's a heel.
I agree.
That's not the thing.
He's a heel.
That's the thing you give. Yes. That's the thing you give the good guy. So I think that Drew gets that moment, and I think I can see Lashley winning the belt back the next night on Raw, honestly. Well, 2 nights later, I suppose.
Mike, you okay? What's wrong? Another bet lost?
No. That I lit that on fire about 4 hours ago.
What direction are you going in with this one, man? Because this is the one I can't get my hand on.
The show, Bobby Lashley wins. If it closes the show, Drew McIntyre wins.
Yeah, totally agree with you.
It's kind of the way I look at it. Bob winning the match, knowing that they're probably going to get the big cheer at the end when Bianca wins the title. I think you get the moment there. I think you bookend it and you let everyone go home happy. So I think the reality of the situation is, I think the face is going to win the main event match no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
I think Bianca's.
I was gonna say, is Bianca the face in that feud?
Yeah, absolutely.
I would say she is.
Yeah,
okay.
Sasha's
Sasha was
a heel again.
Until apparently about 5 minutes ago.
You missed the last SmackDown, I guess.
For a hot second there.
You didn't see the last SmackDown, did you?
No, he said he didn't watch it.
Right. So there you go. That's why. Because she's basically a heel again. Well, close to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're done here.
She's the heel. She's the heel of that match. I don't think she's a full blown heel. Let's put it that way. My prediction, and this is, I guess, the bold one of the night for me, is I'm gonna actually take Lashley to win. Again, I think at this point you had a shot to give Drew his moment, and you've kind of used it. Like, okay, he won the title at WrestleMania with no fans and all that fun shit. But I mean, the thing is, you've taken the title off. You've taken the title off of him now. Like, I'm good. Like, we talked about how it would have been so much better had it been like, oh, let them two wrestle each other in 6 months at SummerSlam or Survivor Series or whatever the fuck, whatever you want to do. But to rush this match with not that much of a build, Why? Why are we rushing this?
I agree.
I agree with you.
Okay, so if we know that we're rushing this, what makes the most sense? Let Bobby get the first win. Let Drew take it from him in a couple of months at fucking insert random thing here. If they're both healthy, you fucking cap it off at SummerSlam with the one fucking third round with fans in the stands.
So, okay, two things. Number one, that's the name of my favorite porn. Insert random things here, 37. Number two, I will say this. I'm only excited for Lashley versus McIntyre because we're going to be there. And I'm excited to see that match in person. Otherwise, I 100% agree with you. This is happening way too soon.
Yeah. All right, that's night one.
Joe, what is your formal prediction?
Right.
Drew. Drew.
It's Drew? Okay. Well, I agree with Mike said, though. If the women's match is at night, where the match is being placed depends on who wins this match. I agree. Because Babyface has to close the show out.
I mean, personally, first match, I would go with your best wrestling match. I would go versus Cesaro versus Seth Rollins. I would make that your first match. I'd go fucking straight out the fucking gate. I'd go that to the Bad Bunny, to the women's title match, to the Raw Tag title match, to the Steel Cage match, to
almost the order that Ernest was reading the card out in just now. Like
pretty much close to it.
That would have worked. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would take the women's title match and I'd put it after Bad Bunny so you could kind of be like, okay,
let it breathe.
Your first hour and a half main event.
Yeah.
Bam. Second hour and a half, bam. You put the other. You can tweak the order around any way you want. But I would straight up go with the fucking best wrestling match that you're gonna have probably of the weekend in Cesaro and Seth Rollins, and then whatever you do from there, you can. And then you go to the women's, and you have the other two. And then you have Drew versus Bobby.
All right, let's go on night number two. Night number two. We start off here.
Who does number 2 work for?
All right, two old friends here meeting here with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
I'm so sorry that that's your reaction, Mike, and I understand why. I understand that the name Logan Paul is about to come up in a lot of this conversation. Before we let that man ruin that conversation, let me say this. As a lifelong independent wrestling fan, and by lifelong I mean since I was about 21, I have seen Seth, I have seen Kevin Owens, Kevin Steen, I have seen El Generico, I have seen Sami Zayn have this feud everywhere. I've seen them do it in Ring of Honor at Final Battle. I've seen them do it in Pro Wrestling Guerrilla at shows literally just named after them. I've seen them do it, everywhere you can think of. They've gone to do it. They did it at NXT. They've done it on the WWE main roster already a bunch of times. If they were going back to this well at any other point in the calendar year, I think I'd be like, really? Again? Like, I don't know that I needed that right now. However, the fact that we are getting a Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn match on a WrestleMania is amazing to me. They have hit the pinnacle. They have taken this feud to the highest place that it can go, and it belongs there, and I love that. So honestly, I don't care that they're going to ruin it slightly by putting a stupid fucking internet celebrity into the match. Like, I don't even know who
that confirmed?
Fuck really is.
Is that confirmed?
I mean, that's what, at least the rumor, right? I mean,
I heard his name crossed.
Confirmed. But here's the
thing. He said on his Twitter that he would be at WrestleMania. So
here's the thing. I'm hoping that it's just like it's one of those things where he's like the enforcer, or maybe he's just out at ringside. Something where
don't you dare ever use the word enforcer in Logan Paul again. That is a slight on the greatest enforcer of all time. You do not use the same name as Arn Anderson. Fucking describe Logan Paul.
I apologize. So special guest referee.
Fine.
Or whatever the case may be.
Special guest timekeeper.
Right. Like whatever. He can have the role that JTT had at WrestleMania 11. I don't really care.
He could hold Sami Zayn's camera.
Yes, exactly. Or a jockstrap. I don't really care. At the end of the day, I feel like these two guys are going to be able to tell whatever story they're going to tell, and I trust them enough to put on a great match in spite of whatever extra little hurdle WWE puts in their way, Logan Paul. I trust these guys. Do I think it's going to be the best match that they've ever had against each other? No. I don't think they're going to have enough time to have that match. I've seen them have some 5-star classics. I don't think we're getting that here. I don't think that's where they are on the card. I don't think they're even going to steal the show. I'm not thinking that for them. Do I think that they're going to have a good match? Maybe even a great match? Yes. Am I just happy that they're having a match on a WrestleMania? Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
I'm going to take Kevin Owens to win.
El Generico, numero uno.
Whatever
Yeah, I'll go KO too. I'll go KO also. All right.
I guess it's a clean sweep on the Kevin Owens Express. But where my frustration comes into this is not this feud, because I will always love this feud, and we're finally getting this feud for the first time with Kevin being the babyface.
Yes.
It's always been Sami being the lovable underdog. And I love the fact that we're getting this new like Kevin being the babyface and seeing where it goes and all that. So I'm kind of happy with that. If you knew that you were going to use this social media influencer, and that's what I'm going to call him, because I'm not going to call him a celebrity. He's an influencer. You know, he gets people riled up and then challenges them to a boxing match and knocks out 3'7" Nate Robinson and tries to talk trash to people. I'm sorry. I think I would take Joe Lopez against Logan Paul in a boxing match right now. At the end of the fucking day,
I box a lot.
I know you do. Trust me, that's why I'd pick you. I don't know that I would necessarily be fucking going leaps and bounds to get this social media influencer on WrestleMania when you have a limited number of seats. Like, if you want the social media to get the preteens there to go, oh my god, it's Logan Paul, Jesus! Like, wait till you can fill up 107,000 fucking seats in Dallas next year, or in 2 years when you're in LA. Like, why are we rushing this? Like, if you're going to do this, like, ease your way into it. Make it make sense. Don't fucking sit here and be like, oh, you know, I think he's getting ready to have a boxing match against some random celebrity. Let's get this guy in here. No. I would much rather go with what brought you to the dance. Go with the fucking roster that you have that has kept this fucking thing afloat for the last year. Don't give me someone just to give me somebody random. Okay, you gave me Bad Bunny because that storyline made sense because he performed at fucking Royal Rumble, a song that he made about Booker T. You brought it into the show. You brought it into everything else. You've had it for 3 months to build the fucking thing. It makes sense. 3 weeks before the fucking show, you're like, I'm going to send him a fucking DM on Twitter, and now he's going to be fucking part of the match. You know what I hope he does? I hope he pulls the Rob Gronkowski approach. Sits in the fucking front row, jumps the fucking guardrail, kicks Kevin Owens in the dick, and maybe Sami wins that way. I don't care. Get him off of my screen, though. I want Owens versus Zayn. I don't want fucking some random fucking social media influencer playing his fucking role of keeping up with the fucking Kardashians. I really don't fucking care.
Couldn't agree with you more, buddy. So, all right, next one here. Randy Orton and The Fiend, Bray Wyatt.
Hear voices crying.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. The voices that he hears crying, is that The Fiend whenever he fucking turned him into a chestnut roasting on an open fire?
Jeez.
No, it's the cries of the entire audience, you and I included, at that WrestleMania where Wyatt and Orton had that match where they just projected up onto the mat. Those are the crying voices of the dead souls.
I mean, I don't mind this feud, but I'm kind of ready for it to be over.
I love the feud. Yeah. I think it's perfect television. I've really enjoyed it. Yeah, I'm ready for it to be over too. I'm ready to move on. It's gone on for a very long time, and this is clear. It's gone on for a long time because they wanted to get to WrestleMania, and I actually really respect that because it's something that I wish they did more. So I'm glad that we're here.
I think it also made sense that Bray had to take some time off because they had the kid. I think that made perfect sense. That
made it work,
And it gave them something to do with Alexa. To, keep her relevant and not have to be in the middle of the title picture because...
Yeah.
Right. No, exactly. So, no, like, it made a lot of sense, and it got us to WrestleMania, and it's a marquee match. And I'm excited in general for it because I really like the feud, like you said. I'm also ready for it to end at this point.
Yeah.
I have a hard time being excited for this match because the last time these two guys wrestled on WrestleMania, it was complete and utter shit. And the storyline getting us to that match was fucking awesome, too. That was one of my favorite storylines back then. So these guys aren't unfamiliar to having really good feuds with each other. They're kind of so far unfamiliar with having really good matches with each other. Will they change that here? I don't know. I hope so, because I really don't want to see another shitty Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt match.
Yeah.
I want to see a really good Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton match. Try saying that like 3 times fast. I almost really tripped up there.
Let's set those expectations lower for this match.
See, the problem is
I'm sorry.
I don't think you can set those expectations lower.
Yeah, no, look, I'm sorry. I'm not taking a train 35 hours, having paid what I paid for in tickets, a hotel, and having to entertain myself like while I'm there, and like not having my usual ways to entertain myself, so I gotta find other ways. Like, but Mike's there, so he'll entertain me also. But like, not that.
His face.
Not like that. We got 2 beds in the room. It's fine. But my point is,
great point.
my expectations are allowed to be fucking high when I'm putting this much work into going to the fucking show. So don't tell me to lower my expectations. These motherfuckers need to match the fuck up and know that I'm taking a train for 35 hours.
I think the thing is you could go in with a lower expectation for a match like The Miz and Bad Bunny, a guy who isn't an in-ring wrestler, and a guy who is a decent in-ring wrestler, not great, but he's good at storytelling in The Miz. We know what Randy Orton can do in the ring. We've been watching it since 2003. We know what Bray Wyatt can do in the ring. The problem here is that not necessarily can they make the stigma of WrestleMania Orlando go away. It's how do they get to the point where it makes sense? Since The Fiend has come back, what has The Fiend actually done besides stand stoic and sit next to Alexa Bliss? He has not spoken. He has not really done much of anything. Or are we even going to get a match? Can we get something weird where, boom, someone goes off and we get a cinematic?
Cinematic, right.
I'm so afraid of that because I'm going to tell you, sitting there in the audience, if they give me that as a fucking cinematic match, I'm pissed.
Is it possible that because what you just said about the last time they met, Randy was so bad?
Oh, it's completely possible.
But that match, the match itself was not bad. The dumb shit they were doing during the match is what made that unbearable.
Yeah.
Projecting bugs on the ring, projecting fucking fucking cockroaches and shit like that.
Maggots.
Right.
Super unnecessary bullshit. The match itself was decent. Like, I didn't have a problem with the in-ring work, the philosophy that they were using.
They cut the fat off.
But the problem was, if you look at the way that they were building that, whether it was like he was the eater of worlds and that he blew up the fucking house and all that bullshit, like, it made sense. The problem is you could do that at Judgment Day, at Fastlane, at insert random fucking B show here. Putting maggots on your mat on the biggest stage of them all, why? It didn't make any fucking sense.
So, bold prediction for night 2. One of the food options available at the thing is Fiend chicken. It's just fried chicken in a bucket with the Fiend's face on it. Kentucky Fiend chicken.
Oh my God.
Does the bucket say "Let me in"?
Yes.
Piece of chicken.
Tell me you wouldn't buy that.
I'd be tempted to.
Okay, so I guess the real question here, I'm going to take the Fiend. I think that's the way that this is going. But the real question here, what's next?
It's a big question.
Is this where we see Alexa Bliss playing the role of Sister Abigail and basically having Bray be basically like her fucking like warhorse?
I don't know. I feel like you have to somehow reset the Fiend or Bray or something like. you can't have him walking around forever looking like, he fucking didn't survive Home Alone 2. Like that's only gonna work for so long. It's honestly only gonna work in matches for so long.
I would have him just pop up Monday night on Raw.
And just like dressed back the way he used to be, like at least Fiend-wise.
No, what I would do is I'd have him pop up in the fucking Bray Wyatt Firefly Funhouse, like turtleneck and fucking hey everybody. And then he's like he walks up to us and goes, "What happened?" Like he doesn't know that fucking anything's happened over the last fucking 6 months.
That actually would make total sense too, because the whole thing has been the Fiend, and like we've established that's like an alternate personality, yada yada yada.
Yeah. And the thing is like you could have Alexa try to explain to him what happened, and then like he doesn't get it or doesn't want to believe it, and it leads to a fucking whole because the whole thing is letting him in.
Right.
So if they kind of branch that into him almost playing the split personality role, where he's like he's trying to not let the Fiend in because he's now seen what the Fiend has done.
Yeah.
And it plays into a role of him trying to keep the Fiend out, where then Alexa's trying to get him to let it back in.
Right.
I got the Fiend as well too, just for the record. So I think it's a clean sweep here.
I think Joseph Fiend was gonna win. I think Orton's gonna win. What the fuck?
You got Orton?
Yeah.
Oh, I think you had Fiend. I apologize. Okay. All right. The United States Championship is on the line between Riddle and Sheamus.
God, this match is going to be awful.
I'm kind of, yeah.
Bro.
Yeah. We'll see.
Bro.
I really would have much rather this been like the clusterfuck fucking 96-man match.
I figured this out just now. Matt Riddle is going to lose. Sheamus is going to win. And then on Monday night, the next night, he's going to be like, I can't believe I got beat by a bro kick.
I like that.
I mean, if he remembers the line, there's also just the chance that he fucks it up.
He won't. And honestly, I'm ready for I like Matt Riddle.
Not in this role.
No, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm good on Matt Riddle for a little while. You know what I almost want to see happen? I almost want to see Matt Riddle win just to get his face kicked off by Aleister Black, and Aleister Black win the U.S. title on Monday Night on Raw. Like that. Like I would much rather that happen. But I'm gonna take Sheamus to win because I just want Matt Riddle to go away from it.
Oh, and there's been rumors about Aleister Black, finally healthy, that. So
Aleister Black's been healthy for 5 ever. I'm pretty sure. I think you're more likely to see him show up and attack Miro on Dynamite or more likely Elevation than you are to see him show up.
You're more likely to see him show up on April 4th and kick either Kota Ibushi or Will Ospreay's face off.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got Sheamus too. Give him something to hold on to after.
I don't know. I don't think he's gonna hold on to it long. I think he's literally gonna win it and lose it the next night to.
Too.
I don't really give a fuck who.
I can see that.
Who's in the mid card on that show? Braun Strowman. Fuck it. Let's put on Braun Strowman.
Oh, don't do that.
Why not? We have fucking Matt Riddle as the United States champion right now. It couldn't get any fucking worse. The guy doesn't even know how to fucking cut a promo. He forgets his lines halfway through it.
Bro,
right.
Put his character.
Put the title on fucking one of the members of Retribution. Slapjack, T-Bar, Mace, Tire Iron.
They broke up. Didn't they break up?
No, they didn't. No. They kicked Mustafa Ali out of the group. They didn't break up.
Who the leader? Who the leader?
They're a rogue missionary mission crew that does whatever the fuck they want.
Okay.
Oh, by the way.
It's like a B version of the Shield.
Honestly, you know what I would do personally? I would see if I could get fucking Keith Lee medically cleared, and I'd have him win the title the next night from Sheamus.
Ooh.
But that's me.
Cool.
Baskin Robbins in his way.
By the way, check out those. Keith Lee, he's been out for a little while. Check out their engagement photos. Him and Mia. So
I think
okay.
Personally, I think that there's something more wrong
with Keith Lee.
Don't. That would suck.
Don't do that, Mike.
Dude, he can't get cleared. What happens when you can't get cleared for months, dude? It's got to be something. Like you just don't randomly not get cleared one day because of fucking sniffles.
It's more serious than I don't want to be serious. We love Keith Lee,
dude. Honestly, if he comes out tomorrow and is like, I gotta have fucking like knee surgery, or I couldn't do it because my cholesterol was too high, or something like that, it's a serious fucking problem. Like you're gonna damn, Mike was fucking right.
No, I get it.
It sucks either fucking way. It's not that I'm hoping that it fucking happens, but it's the fucking realization of the fact that some guy who they were pushing to the fucking moon basically fell off the fucking face of the earth for the last fucking 6 months.
I mean, it could even
be like fucking 7 times.
Like,
now
look,
last rant.
I mean, look, but it could even be like remember Sonny Siaki stopped wrestling because he gave. Oh no, was it him or Monty Brown that stopped wrestling because he gave his brother a kidney or something like that? And then
I don't remember.
One of them also retired to go take care of their sister's kids or something.
I think Sonny gave his kidney to his family member, and I think Monty retired to take care of his sister's kids.
So I mean, who knows? It could even be something along those lines, even it's something outside of health necessarily. Wait, what's the next match?
More titles. Intercontinental Championship on the line between Big E.
Joe, hold on, Joe. Are you taking Riddle or Sheamus?
I'll take fucking Sheamus.
Okay, clean sweep, I think, right? Yeah.
Tell us how you really feel.
All right, Intercontinental Championship. Big E, Apollo Crews, go.
Wakanda forever.
Look.
I don't know who's
No, wait. If you think Apollo Crews is gonna win this match, then I've got a bank account I'd like to give you access to.
Do you?
No.
Didn't you say a couple weeks ago you can see Apollo win this match at Mania?
Yeah, no. I think Apollo's gonna win.
Yeah, me too. Wakanda forever.
Wakanda forever.
Apollo.
Oh my God. Wait, no. I gotta send you guys this. So the other day I'm in the post office here in Lewiston, Maine.
Mm-hmm.
Lewiston. This town is so white. This town is so white that most of the people that live here think a spice is mayo. Anyway, so I'm in the fucking post office and this girl is standing in front of me and she is so white that Sheamus is damn, okay? But she's standing in front of me and I looked down and it was legit 65 degrees out that day. So she was wearing shorts and I looked down and this extremely white woman had a Black Panther tattoo that said Wakanda forever. I have a photo. I will send it to you guys. I low-key took a photo. I was like, she's too white, but this is also not ironic. You can just tell that this is a serious tattoo. I didn't know what to do with myself.
Wow.
Anyway,
right.
Yeah, Apollo Crews.
Okay, 2 matches here. This is the match.
Did you take Apollo Crews too?
Oh yeah,
no?
yeah, absolutely, yeah. All right.
Sweet,
this is the match I'm probably looking forward to most. The Raw's Women's Championship match. Asuka and Rhea Ripley.
This is the match you're looking forward to.
Outside the main event, of course.
I think this is gonna be a great match.
I'm looking forward to this.
Confused.
I think this match could steal the show.
Good, yeah. And I think Rhea's gonna get it. Rhea Ripley's gonna.
Oh yeah, no. You don't position her in all this way and then have her lose. If you do that, then she's.
They've done that.
Yeah.
Asuka, WrestleMania fucking 34 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
When she came up and was like, nobody ready for Asuka.
Charlotte won the fucking match.
Except for Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair was definitely ready for Asuka.
Well, hopefully they've learned that lesson.
And then Asuka lived in the pit of misery for fucking 3.5 years until they finally gave her the title during a goddamn pandemic because her tag team partner decided to go be with her fucking husband in Japan. The fuck are we doing here?
So
why are we doing this?
I love both these women. I like rooting wise. I don't root for it, but I think Rhea's gonna win the title.
I think Rhea's gonna win as well. I think it's gonna be a great match. That's what I'm excited for.
Yeah.
Fans are winning this one.
The real problem that I have with Rhea if she loses here is then she's 0-2 at WrestleMania in title matches.
Yeah.
I feel like they've booked themselves into the spot where they almost have to go this route. And again, I almost feel like this is the argument that I made for the Drew McIntyre Bobby Lashley problem that I have. They rushed this.
Yeah.
They had a lot of time to do it the smart way. And it just kept being, Rhea Ripley's coming to Monday Night Raw. Rhea Ripley is coming to Monday Night Raw. Rhea Ripley is coming to Monday Night Raw. Rhea Ripley will be on Raw next week. Rhea Ripley's in a title match at WrestleMania in 3 fucking weeks. What the fuck are we doing?
I think Charlotte was the original opponent.
Well, let's be clear here. The original plan was fucking Lacey Evans versus Charlotte for the Raw title at WrestleMania.
Thank you.
That obviously got fucking donkey fucked 5 ways over at some point.
Lacey Evans
we ended up with Asuka versus Ripley. By the way, Mike, in that voice you were just using, can you say donkey fucked?
Their Raw Women's title match got donkey fucked.
It's getting late. 1 a.m.
I look at it from the standpoint of, obviously Charlotte was supposed to be in this match.
Right.
Okay, you had the fucking false pregnancy fucking bullshit. You know Andrade asked for his release. You know she got the vid. At the end of the fucking day, you've been running stupid fucking like Rhea Ripley is showing up on Raw eventually, one day, maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day. I don't know. What the fuck day we're gonna do it? I don't know. Maybe we should play rock paper scissors for it. If I win, I get to pick the date. If not, you get to pick the date. Cool story, guys. That's kind of what it feels like they're doing here. Like at this point, why are we like waiting? Like you have her, everybody knows her. Everyone that watches the program watched her have probably one of if not one of the best women's matches they've had over the last fucking 5 WrestleManias. And what do? We make a fucking random Raw vignette that she shows up and goes, "This is my nightmare." Why? What are we doing? Like, come on! Like, you have the fucking rocket, and you're like, meh. Put it back in the closet. Maybe we'll break it out next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that said, I don't see Rhea lose this match.
I'm definitely gonna take her, but I wouldn't be shocked if she lost.
Yeah, no, that's kind of where I'm at.
Vince.
It's like it's no, it's not because of Vince. It's because of the fucking numbnuts that are writing for him. That are like, we need to go this route. We need to put Charlotte over. We need to put these people over.
He checks that shit off though.
Okay, but the problem fucking is if you have 37 people that are like, hey, let's put Charlotte over because she's Charlotte Flair. You know what you're getting from her. It's fucking vanilla ice cream and a fucking soft serve Sunday bowl. Or you could go with the change, the difference, the thing that would make a fucking perfect sense. Like, you could take a chance. That's such good shit.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the fucking day, we're like, you know what? Vince likes vanilla ice cream. Let's stay with the thing that we know that he's going to fucking go for. Take a fucking chance, guys. Like, at the end of the fucking day, you have the best in-ring women's wrestler that you're going to have.
We are in the era of chances right now. Yeah, I agree with you.
Here's part of the problem, though, right? And it's always like, they've always, the whole company has always catered to Vince's taste, obviously. And we know that. Here's the thing, right? For about the first 2 or 3 decades of that, it wasn't the biggest deal. Now he is an old-ass man. My grandfather was an old-ass man. His taste did not change. He liked to watch the same fucking documentary about World War II where they covered the same topics 18 million different times. So guess what? This is who they're booking for now. They're booking for the person who likes to see the same thing that he knows. He doesn't want too much change. Change scares him. Like, and I'm not trying to be mean, but like that's what that feels like at this point.
Alrighty. Finally, the main event. Triple threat match, Universal title on the line. Roman Reigns versus Edge versus Daniel fucking Bryan.
So in a perfect world, which is not the one we live in, Daniel Bryan wins the world title for a second time at a WrestleMania in a match that he is ass backwards ended up in.
Yeah.
And I get to mark the fuck out like crazy for seeing my second favorite wrestler of all time win his second world title. Well, his third world title, but the second one he's winning at WrestleMania. I would have a fucking, like, I would have a kitten. And it would literally happen. Mike, you'd have to take it home. I can't take it home with me on the train. That would actually happen. In the reality that we actually live in this Mandela effect fucking universe that we're in, Edge is going to pin Daniel Bryan and win the world title, and Roman Reigns is going to stay protected, blah, blah, blah. That's what's going to happen. I'm taking Edge as the winner, and I think Bryan's the one taking the fall, and low-key, really high-key sucks.
I think he's here to be the fall guy, pretty much.
Yeah, no, I mean, I said it to Mike as soon as it started to. I might have said it on the show. I don't even know, but I definitely at least said it to Mike. As soon as it started to become obvious that Bryan was going to end up in this match, I was like, you know what? Edge has not wrestled since coming back. Like, since coming back the second time. Since coming back the second time, he's wrestled, what, twice? the Royal Rumble. He had a match with Orton on Raw, like the night
He had
after
two
that.
Orton matches, right? He had one on Backlash, one at Mania.
Injured again at Backlash.
Right.
And he's not wrestled since then. I'm talking about since returning the second time, not since returning from the 7-year absence, since returning from the injury in the Orton match at Backlash.
Not including Rumble, of course.
Right. Since then, I think he's literally wrestled twice at the Rumble and then and an Orton against Orton on Raw. I don't think he's had any other matches since then. I think WWE is low-key a little afraid of what he can and can't do in the ring. I think that's why Bryan's there, to help carry the match, to give Roman someone who's actually going to be able to bump for him. He's had 3 matches, so I was off by 1.
Yeah.
The Rumble, Orton, and then the match against Jey Uso on the 19th of March on SmackDown.
Okay.
To be the enforcer when he turned heel.
Right. So that's the thing, and first of all, this is just total aside. I watched Dynamite last night. Christian looked better in that one match on Dynamite than I think Edge has looked since his entire return. I know we shouldn't be comparing them, but Christian looked fucking awesome in the ring, and he was wrestling fucking Frankie Kazarian. So, Edge is going to wrestle some of the best talent in the world, and not that Frankie Kazarian is not one of the best, but he's not Randy Orton or anything like that. So Christian looked fucking amazing. Christian looked so good that if Christian all of a sudden was AEW World Champion at some point, I just wouldn't be mad at it. We're living in a world where Edge is about to be a World Champion again, and I think he's going to beat Bryan for it, and it kind of disappoints me. I would love to see Bryan get this win. This storyline at this point feels more built for Bryan getting the win, but I don't think they're going to pull that trigger. I think that they're going to just stick with their guns and give it to Edge.
So I asked you guys right now, percentage chances Daniel Bryan becomes Universal Champion by that night, and that night.
So win the match?
Percentage chance he actually wins. He wins the match in the title.
48.
That's pretty high.
It's either him or Edge winning. I don't think Roman has a chance of retaining this belt. Not in
my number.
Go, Mike.
My number. 100.
You think Bryan's
winning it?
Bryan wins. They don't trust Edge. Roman doesn't need the title.
Right.
What makes the most sense here? Stick with me here for a second. Remember there was a situation at a certain pay-per-view where a certain Uso got choked out by the big dog. And then his brother became Roman's bitch.
Yes. I do sadly remember that.
Yeah. So stay with me here. What if Jimmy Uso comes back and decides to not join the bloodline? Turns his back on his brother and on Roman. Basically taking Roman out of the match. Setting up Bryan versus Edge for the last 7 to 10 minutes of that match. The thing that makes the most sense is go with the guy that you know can get you to whatever is next for the SmackDown brand.
Right.
What's next from the SmackDown brand, that's something we have to figure out. But that's something that we can figure out once you have someone who isn't going to basically just crush your entire fucking roster out of the title spot. Bryan is a believable underdog champion that could then feud with Edge for the next 3 to 5 months, get the best out of Edge, get him back in better ring shape, and eventually get him into where he wins the title at SummerSlam. Because here's the thing that you have to remember: when it's all said and done, I don't know that Edge is 100% healthy.
That's what I've been thinking.
If you remember, John Cena kind of pulled this same thing at the Royal Rumble, where he came back from the shoulder injury, won the Rumble match, didn't wrestle a single match until Mania, and then won the title at Mania, but didn't really look like the Cena of old in that match.
Right.
You knew he was a step off. You knew he was slower. You knew he wasn't in ring shape. So you saw that match against Randy Orton back in February. You saw that match against Jey Uso on Friday night on March 19th. He didn't look great in that match. It was serviceable. But that's because Jey Uso fucking bumped his ass off. That's because Jey fucking sold his ass off for that fucking match. So at the end of the day,
the Orton match certainly wasn't like amazing either.
No. No, plus it didn't help that the last 5 matches he had before that were all including fucking Randy Orton.
Yeah.
But whatever. I will say this. Daniel Bryan walks out of Tampa, Florida, April 11th, as the fucking Universal Champion.
I mean, I would love it, obviously.
He does. We celebrate like 3-year-old school kids. We get the T-shirt that says Daniel Bryan just won the world title, like the Kofi Mania T-shirt that I bought. And at the end of the day, it makes the most sense. I don't think Edge is cleared. I mean, I think Edge is cleared medically. I don't think Edge is mentally cleared from the shoulder injury. I think that's playing a major role in where he's at. And I don't know that WWE trusts him. You booked him in this so you could have that moment on this day where the fucking fans could pop for it, the pyro, all that fun shit. If you were going to make Edge the champion, why turn him heel?
That's also true.
He's not going to get cheered leaving WrestleMania. And what did I tell you that the thing here is? Same thing that it's been from fucking WrestleMania 1 to WrestleMania 37. Hogan must pose.
Yeah.
The fans must leave happy. How the hell do you leave the fans happy? By giving their guy the title belt back. Bryan walks out as champion. We get what we want. We love it.
Fuck it. I'm changing my pick to Bryan. I want to like put this into the universe.
I want to see it, sort of. But
sort of. Fuck you. Just go with it. The fuck?
Head of the table.
No.
Really?
Nah. I don't know. I don't see Edge winning it.
I could see Roman winning. I'm not gonna lie. He has been the biggest star in the company.
I mean, here's the thing. If Roman wins the match, the next 4 months better be Edge versus Bryan in a feud, so Edge can work his ass off.
Yeah.
But that's the only way it makes sense. Because then Roman could basically go through fucking, I'm gonna take a break because I don't want to be here and play the fucking Brock Lesnar role for all I could give a fuck. Because we're gonna have fucking Wakanda Forever being the fucking IC champion and let Apollo Crews defend the title and be most important. Because at the end of the day, I don't see another guy on the SmackDown roster that's remotely close to fighting Roman Reigns for the title, unless this is we're taking the Intercontinental title out for fucking Big E, and Big E's gonna be the guy that fucking, I need a 5 count to fucking beat Roman Reigns at SummerSlam.
All right.
All right.
Are we done with Mania?
And by the way, as we speak, we are clocked in at 2 hours and 7 minutes.
Okay, but that was a good one. Can I do my thing?
Yes, do your thing. I love about you.
All right, cool. So, Miro, this is my segment. I love that for you. So, Miro, it looks like you finally have reached the end of what has easily been the worst feud of your career. And yes, I'm including that time you feuded with Bobby Lashley as a cuckold. It's over finally. You can maybe finally actually matter again. Is it a new Rusev Day? Possibly. Let's find out. Miro, here's your chance. Get away from fucking best friends. Get away from fucking Kip Sabian. Get away. Well, maybe stay close to Penelope Ford. I mean, come on. But get away from all of that bullshit and have your moment. Here's your chance, Miro. That feud is over. And Miro, I love that for you.
I like that. All right. MVPs. Go.
I'm going last. Fuck you guys.
Oh, you always go last.
That means Ernest is going first because I don't know who I'm picking yet.
Shit. You go first. I don't have one yet. I gotta think of one.
What the fuck did I just say?
You, man.
This is why your wife beats you. What the fuck did I just say?
Well,
Why your wife beats you.
I don't condone violence, for the record.
All right, I got one. My MVP this week is actually Jim Ross. Will and JR, last week's episode, covering WrestleMania 17. Excellent episode. If you haven't checked that one out. If anyone hasn't heard that podcast yet, please check it out. That episode was phenomenal.
Are we sponsored by him now?
Yes, obviously.
Fuck it. Who gives a shit?
At
freeshows.com.
Jesus Christ.
All right. I'll go. My MVP for this week is going to be I don't know, fucking Bobby Lashley, because why the fuck not, right? He's awesome. He's the world championship.
I thought you were
who's
gonna
not
pick
my
Christian
MVP?
Cage.
You know who's not my MVP? Fucking Laredo Kid. Because, like, I'm sorry, but, like, we already have a Ray Phoenix. We don't need you. Go away.
Don't
He
be
is. He put on
jerk.
Twitter that he was going back to Mexico.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I would have thought you would have picked Christian Cage based off of the hype that you gave him for the
Oh,
first
yeah, no, he was in a really good match.
My MVP this week is a guy that I believe in that is going to be the next face of the NXT brand, a guy that I could see walking out of night 2 of Stand and Deliver as the NXT North American champion. He won the Battle Royal. He'll be entering the gauntlet match last. That is none other than L.A. Knight.
I can see it.
All right.
I love Eli Drake. He's fucking hilarious. His promos are fantastic. He's really good in ring. I want him to be a guy who goes over major in NXT and gives them the star power that he doesn't need to get called up to the main roster. He could be the best NXT guy.
Yeah, for real.
All right, fellas. So next week we'll have hopefully some reaction pods while you guys are at Mania.
Well,
but for now, this will be
breaking news. Me and Joe are going to try to record small blippets after some matches while people are walking, from the ring and back to the back and doing video segments. So we're actually going to try to do some stuff where and then I'll send it to you as a splice and you can post it.
Okay, I'll do that.
And then we'll do the wrap-up shows Saturday and Sunday, which if you can be a part of, awesome. If not, then GFY.
Yeah, GFY it is. All right, fellas, enjoy. Go fuck yourself.
Oh, you too.
You didn't know that, man? I'm surprised.
I'm glad we're all on the same page now.
Yeah.
Ernest, you can go fuck yourself.
Yes. See, there you go. And both of you guys go fuck yourselves. Enjoy WrestleMania. And we'll see you guys soon. See you next, other than reaction shows, next regular podcast will be in 2 weeks. So
Lopez out.
you got it. Take care.
Seacrest out.